Yes, indeed. You know why you hold press conferences at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Because Big Sills is here, my friends. You bet your ass, man. Big Sills is here. How you doing? Welcome aboard. One of the greatest, in my opinion, times in the history of pro football, and a national championship game will be played on Monday night. The Miami Hurricanes versus the Indiana Hoosiers. By the way, not impressed. Not impressed. Who's had a better journey to the national championship? Indiana or Miami? Beating an overrated Oregon team and an outmanned Alabama team. Or I should say this, a non-Nick Saban Alabama team. Who's had the tougher journey? How about them Canes? How you doing, Jimmy? By the way, tickets are going for $4,000 a pop for Monday night's game. How's that for you, man? Seats are sold out. Everything is ready to rock. Can't wait for that. NFL games this weekend. Best round in football, divisional games. There is no doubt the absolutely best weekend in pro football is the divisional round. But we got to start with your birds. One of the absolutely most impressive teams in my broadcasting career to cover has been the Philadelphia Eagles. Every single day, there's something new. Every single day we have, by the way, Xander's going to join us early today because Nick and Howie are speaking today. So what we're going to do is Big Z's going to monitor it, and we're going to have it at around 2:15. And we're going to go over some of the things that they say in the presser today. By the way, Howard Eskin will join us at 4:30. So we will talk with Howard, get his spin on what he hears today and what he saw throughout the 2026 season, 25 season, we should say. My presser takeaway, Nick will not have autonomy on the offense. Howie chimed in and said, Coach will do the best with the team and what's best for the team. Also, the next OC will be a former head coach. Is he making waves that it's going to be Mike McDaniel? Mike McDaniel's interviewing for the Bucs OC job on Friday. Or is it going to be Kevin Stefanski? Or is it going to be Frank Reich? Frank Reich was a former head coach, wasn't he? Seals Giants just got better. With hiring of Harbaugh, wouldn't be surprised if they make a push for the playoffs. Absolutely true. They got some talented players on that defensive side, and they're bringing back some talented players on the O side. Cam Skadaboo, Malik Neighbors, Jackson Dart. We'll wait to see what that guy is. Brian Dable, okay? Yo, Sills, how you doing? Appreciate all of you being in here. We do. Really do. Who is the next OC of the Philadelphia Eagles? Story of the week. And I'll tell you one more time, like we said yesterday. How important is that? I heard the words autonomy. So this offensive coordinator that comes into the Philadelphia Eagles is going to have full autonomy. Does that mean I get to bring my own offensive line coach in? Does that mean I get to pick my wide receiver coach? Does that mean that we have to go through a litany of new hires on offense? Okay, wait a minute. You know what full autonomy means? Full autonomy means that I get to pick my wide receiver and offensive line, my passing coordinator, my quarterback coach. That's full autonomy. Not full autonomy on play calling. I think somebody needs to define that. There's two different areas of autonomy. Autonomy in play calling or autonomy in hiring of assistant coaches. Didn't anybody seem to ask or need to ask that question? Exactly what does full autonomy mean? Why don't you ask the most important question? Because if full autonomy, which means to me, you're going to have full autonomy of the offense, That means I get to hire who I feel like bring in like Vic did on defense. Does that mean that? Well, I would ask you one more time, like I've asked you for the last couple years. What's Nick's job? What exactly is Nick's job then? In full autonomy. They hinted they have had success with former head coaches. I have a strong feeling the next OC will be a former head coach. That's the vibe I'm getting. They have had success in hiring former head coaches? You mean they've only had one bit of success with hiring former head coaches? Now, if that means Howie's had success, Howie hired Schwartz, who was a former head coach in Detroit. Howie hired also Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia was not very good. So, like, what success are we talking about? They hinted they've had success in hiring former head coaches. Frank wasn't a head coach at the time. He was the OC when he won the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator. I'm trying to figure out where's this success. Matt Patricia was a bad idea. Absolutely. What success are they talking about? Help me out here. Vic Fangio. Okay. Vic was the former head coach. Fair enough. Kellen Moore wasn't a former head coach when he got hired. He's a head coach after the fact. So where's his success? Okay. Sills, that press conference is unlistenable. I know. I was talking to Xander. He's like, go. Yeah. What'd you think they were going to say? They're going to tell you what you want to hear. So what does I hope somebody asked the question, what's full autonomy mean? I saw Byron Leftowich's name earlier. Byron Leftwich has not been a head coach anywhere. He's been the OC when he was there with Brady. The presser's over? Wow. I'm sure. Wait a minute. So they only went for 13 minutes? 13-minute presser on the 2025 season. I think that probably tells you all you need to know about your Philadelphia Eagles in 2025. They didn't even give you 15 minutes. They gave you 13 minutes and nothing. The next head coach will be a former head coach, and we'll leave it at that. Okay. What did you say? You said nothing. What exactly does full autonomy mean? I'm not buying it. So a coach is fifth. Get this. Here, I want to do it again in front of all you guys. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Supers go to the top. Hold on for a minute here. So let me go to the last 4 years. I want to do it one more time. 14-3. Right? 11-6. That's 25-9. 14-3. It's 12, 9, it's 39. This last year, 11-6. So in the last 4 years, you're 50-18. And I'm giving an offensive coordinator full autonomy? And you've been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. wait a minute, 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. Actually, 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. And I'm giving the guy full autonomy. Is that right? Come on, man. 50-18. Nick's going to deviate and give a guy full autonomy. To do what? I want somebody to help me out. It was 27 minutes, and they told you nothing. Well, that's a Bob Lang special. Is Mike McDaniel a fit in Philly as the new OC? Depends on what you're looking at. Mike McDaniel is a great designer of plays in the run game, pass game, play caller. I don't really think he's a head coach. Can you see the Mad Vapor sitting on the Philly sideline with Big Dom? Yeah, I think we should run a jet sweep. Yeah, that'd go over with the Eagle fans. What's he doing on the sidelines? He's vaping. Oh, yeah, no. What did he run? I forgot. Hey, get a new advertiser. Hey, Dom, hold this for me. What is it? It's my vape pen. Yeah, okay. Well, it was really cold. Let me grab my vape. Hey, we need to run a jet sweep. What do you think, oh, Nikki? Hey, Nikki Sirianni. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm vaping. What are you doing? I'm vaping on the sidelines in Philly at Lincoln Financial. You got to be kidding me. Right? Next OC definitely going to be a head coach. I feel it's Cliff Kingsbury. Hey, dude, these names you're talking about, like Mike McDaniel and Cliff Kingsbury, these guys are going to want their own. These guys are going to want their own O-line coaches and wide receiver coaches. You know what that means? Autonomy to me. You know what I mean? Autonomy to call Nick's. Oh, wait, hey, before we bring Big Z in, hey, Big Z, is this what we're going to have autonomy? To call Nick's playbook? Or are we going to go like this? Hey, get this, man. You get to bring your own OC in, your offensive passing game coordinator, quarterback coach, offensive line coach, wide receiver coach. Or is it going to be, hey, you get full autonomy to call my playbook? Anybody ask that question? This is my offense. You want to call it? You're calling my offense. I'm not sure what full autonomy means. What do you think it means? Hey, you're going to have full say in game day operations. Or you're going to have full say in the entire offense. Play on words, my friend. It's a lawyer's comment. And without further ado, because the great presser today, 27 minutes. I wonder what they said in those 27 minutes. We'll get to your super chats. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We got our boy Big Z, Xander Krause, joining us early here. And Howard Eskin, of course.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing. So what was the huge news today at the presser?
First off, an honor to be on here nice and early on the National Football Show today. Second off, that was I don't want to call it a waste of time, but it was as close to a waste of time without being a waste of time as you can get. It was like partly a love fest. Like Sirianni's up there praising how much he loves Howie Roseman, and then Howie Roseman's praising how much he loves Nick Sirianni. He says, he's an elite head coach. I feel honored to work with such an elite head coach. I'm like, sometimes it almost feels like they're trying to sell you, oversell you on shit that they want you to believe, you know?
Or they're setting you up for something big.
Well, maybe, but
look.
Man. It was a love fest. That's what it was. It's a love fest between these two.
Yeah, but if they hire Kevin Stefanski or they hire a guy like a Mike McDaniel, he comes in and turns that offense into an explosive offense. And over the last 2 years, we've been watching the little putt-putt offense that you guys run with that passing game. And this guy turns Jalen Hurts into some guy like Lamar Jackson throwing the ball with 4,200 yards.
Well, that
People in Philadelphia are going to go like this. What have you been doing, dude?
See, Jeff McClain, I got a lot of respect for Jeff McClain because
I do too.
A lot of people don't like Jeff in the city because
I didn't say I liked him, but I have respect.
He actually asked, though, the questions that I think are on people's minds. You know, some people get in there and they're like, so who you looking for in the next OC? I'm like, that's not the question. They're not going to give you anything on that. No. Jeff McClain asked questions, you know, how much of a role did Jalen Hurts play in the offense this year? Is Jalen Hurts willing to do things differently with the new coordinator that comes in? Or is he, you know, he asked great questions. I thought Jeff McClain did. Here's an answer, right? So they asked him about Jalen Hurts being willing to do different things with the offense under a new coordinator. This is the quote from Sirianni. I think you saw this year that he's open to doing a bunch. We were under center more than we have been, different motions, different things. Jalen will do whatever it takes to win football games. Sometimes that's throwing, sometimes it's running, sometimes it's handing it off. All I ever know from Jalen is that man will do anything to win. He pushes himself. He has proven that all he cares about is winning and holding that trophy up. It's a love fest. It's a love fest. It's a love fest.
They think the team in the season was this way because of injuries and nothing they did wrong. They don't think they did anything wrong this year. They just think it was injuries.
All right, so here's another quote from Sirianni. I know we have some on the new OC hire if they had the chance to hire their own staff. See, I will give Sirianni a little bit of an out here because there's a bunch of position coaches on the offense that are on their contracts are up. So that's like, so there's change there.
The timing's right.
Right. So, but he says, I know we have some really good coaches throughout the entire building. Reason we have won a lot of games. Shoot, a lot of guys in this building have won a Super Bowl not even 12 months ago. Sometimes you have to see who you hire and what their situation is. Some might not be able to get any of the guys they want, or maybe the guy we hire has a bunch of guys he wants. It's too early to know. Where I'm at right now is hiring the best possible candidate for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then we will make decisions.
Right there is the reason he's got the job. A head coach that's willing to bend. Because here's autonomy to me, Xander. If you're going to say all those things about your new offensive coordinator, that means he's going to have autonomy in the quarterback coach, pass coordinator, the O-line coach, every single fundamental thing that an OC needs to install his vision. That means a lot of those coaches are going to be fired. Don't be shocked if Jeff Stoughton's fired. I mean, you're going to bring – isn't that full autonomy to you? Because full autonomy the other way with Kellen Moore was this. Do we agree? Kellen Moore was given full autonomy to call Nick's playbook. He wasn't –
For 4 games.
That's right, for 4 games.
Yeah. All right, here's another quote. Wait, I'm not going to be on here long. I'll be back on at 3:30, but I want to give you just the updates on the presser. Here's Howie on the a possibility of trading A.J. Brown. It's hard to find great players in the NFL, and A.J. is a great player. That's what we're going out and looking for. When we go out in free agency and in the draft, it's trying to find great players who love football, and A.J. is that guy. That would be my answer. Sounds to me like he doesn't want to trade A.J. Brown. And by the way, that's smart. You don't know what the fuck you want to trade A.J. Brown for. Why? Because he said
he didn't really answer the question.
No, he didn't. But he's not going to ever say, I'm not or I am.
Xander, you know? I have a topic here that says I am 100% against trading A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I'm against trading A.J. Here's a couple more. Let me read from my list I wrote down. So he danced around a question about why he didn't remove Patullo earlier in the season. He loves Patullo and thanked him for his contribution, told how much he loved Patullo.
Is he staying with the staff?
They said that's yet to be determined. Basically, Kevin's going to have other opportunities. He said, John asked that question. We'll see how it plays out, is what Nick said. In searching for a new offensive coordinator, you're looking to continue to evolve as an offense. They're looking for the best guy. The head coach didn't say much there else. Too early to determine whether the offensive coordinator will have full control versus running a version of his existing offense. He thinks it's best for the team when he is the head coach and getting involved on offense, defense, special teams. There are a lot of different ways to do it. We'll see how that plays out. We're not there yet as far as that goes. So a classic Sirianni tote the line answer. This is Roseman on continuity at the OC position. As much as you'd like continuity, we want to win. We have an urgency to win right now. If that comes with the ramifications that we lose good people because they've earned head coaching jobs, we will live with it. Fails to remind everybody there's been 2 coordinators fired in the last 3 seasons. Howie stressed that Nick Sirianni has been flexible with previous hires and allowing them to put their own spin on things. He thinks Sirianni's an elite connector. Here's Sirianni. We'll see how it plays out. When he was asked if Patullo will remain in the organization, non-committal. That was in response to a question about whether or not Patullo was fired or demoted, since the team statement was vague. It's kind of what I just said to you.
Yeah.
Both completely dodged the question from Jeff McClain on Jalen Hurts' role in the offensive regression. Like, completely dodged it. To me, that's a telltale sign. But
it is an elite connector.
Well, that was him. That was him blubbering over Nick. I mean, how he stopped. He said, "Can I just say something?" And goes on to blubber about Nick Sirianni. I'm like, all right, bro. You just got bounced by the depleted 49ers in the wild card round. Not one of the worst offenses in pro football.
Oh, my God.
I mean, come on here.
This is great content, man. Are you kidding me? Good.
Howie didn't answer on Lane Johnson coming back, which is fine. He's under contract. So you're not going to
don't know that right now. Right. That's all right.
Sirianni, quote, wants to hire the best possible candidate for the Eagles, has a lot of faith in the offensive staff. Both asserted they're going to do everything to win now. We have a win now mode and win now with all of our great players we have, said Sirianni. That's really it.
All right, dude. Hey, if anything pops up, I'll see you at 3:30. Homie, wait, real quick. Look at
I don't want to fucking love fest. I want answers.
Look at his face, folks. Look at his face. He's finally had it.
Well, I just I want to answer. Not that they're going to give it. They don't owe us shit. But at the end of the day, you just fall flat on your face. And literally, I'm listening to the GM ooh and ah over the coach.
How about a decent answer? Just give a decent answer. It doesn't have to be a full answer. Just give a decent answer.
This is my prediction. This is my way too early 2026
prediction. We got to do a segment on that tomorrow.
Ready? This is my way too early prediction. 2 possible outcomes. The Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl 1.
Yeah.
Or it is going to be a seismic, catastrophic, volcanic eruption of a collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles as they currently stand. Jalen will be traded. Nick will be fired.
4 wins. Like Doug's
it's one or the other. They're going back to the bowl or they're going to fucking collapse.
Like Doug's last year?
Yeah.
Like
one
that?
or the other.
Big Z. There's some content there, though. Because
there's
do you agree?
Content.
Do you agree, before you go? They basically didn't say in this press conference that they're giving anybody full autonomy.
He insinuated he would.
He did?
Look, I also think Nick has to be smart about that. Like, with all due respect, there are guys who maybe are better football minds. That does not always equal success on the football field.
50 and 18.
Huh?
50 and 18. That's
so
what
if I'm Nick Sirianni, I'm not just because fans are bitching about the offense or Jalen is bitching, I'm not going to necessarily just say, all right, let me lay on the ground. Now, unless the owner has castrated him, which is possible. I'm not just going to lay down. I know not everybody likes Nick, but hear me out. If you were uber successful in what you do to the point where people compare you with some of the greatest that have done it in your role, whether everybody else believes it or not, if that were you in your role, everybody listening, whatever your role is in life, if you were that successful, would you allow somebody else to come in and then dictate to you how to do? You'd say, fuck you.
No way. No way.
So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Hey, what is Mike McDaniel going to bring in that Nick has a 40 and 18 record and 2 NFC titles?
You just throw flat on your face, guy. Okay.
Yeah. What are you bringing into the room here? I'm going to give a guy
it's an interesting setup, Sills.
I'm going to give you full autonomy over my team where you just laid an egg in Miami.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good coaching decision. It is.
Right.
Final thought. Howie has become more political in press conferences, and I did not envision he would be. Normally, it's Nick blubbering over Howie. Today, it was both. They were blubbering over each other.
Both needed bibs.
And then Nick Sirianni has actually reached a point where he is unlistenable.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a perfect press conference now.
This is what I am doing for a living. I cannot listen to Nick. I get pissed off. I can't listen to the guy.
Your face, man.
I really can't.
Hey,
I can't.
Your face is classic, man.
Let's see what the fuck happens.
Hey, man.
Last Super Bowl. Take your pick now, everybody. The way too early 2026 prediction.
Dude, I'll see you at 3:30, bro.
Later, boss.
You got it, man. That's my boy, Big Z there. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah. He's a massive connector. He's a great connector. All right. Jalen Hurts' accountability. I don't know. All right. What else we got here? A.J. Brown, non-committal. He's not committed whether or not. Hey, by the way, I'm going to make it very clear here. I am 1,000%. I want you to mark this and tell people right now on January 15th, okay, at 2:31 Eastern time, I am 1,000% against trading A.J. Brown. 1, it's a gigantic cap hit. 2, he's a great football player. And 3, that don't make you better. That just doesn't make you better. If it made you better, hey, get this. Trading Jalen Hurts makes more sense than A.J. Brown. Do you hear what I said? Trading Jalen Hurts makes more sense. Get yourself a passer in here if you want to change the offense. Why would I want to change the offense? Get this. So if you bring in Mike McDaniel, say you bring in Mike McDaniel, right? You bring in Mike McDaniel and you want to have more of a passing attack. You're getting rid of A.J. Brown? Make that make sense. The quarterback, if you're looking to make your passing game better, your quarterback is not the answer. He's not the guy. He's not a passer. He's a poser as a passer. But, again, they win the way they win with Nick Sirianni style. And I completely agree with Xander. Dude, I'm 50-18 in 4 years. I'm going to let a dude come in that vapes on the sidelines and got destroyed in Miami. And by the way, we destroyed your team when we played you a couple of years ago. Even in the meltdown year, we killed you. And you're going to come in here and take over my offense? Come on now. Okay? Jalen Hurts was on a hell of a football team. Congratulations to him being part of a great football team. Got carried to it by Barkley. What happened this year? He couldn't he couldn't beat the Niners when you needed him. When you needed him to actually win that game, he couldn't do it. Couldn't throw you to win. And I could call the San Francisco 49ers the junkyard dogs. I mean, but that would beg the question, who would they get? This draft is a weak quarterback class and not much available in free agency. Hey, dude, Mac Jones is a great-looking passer in the pocket. Dude, your guy, who do you think your guy's better than? Do you think your guy's better in the pocket than Sam Darnold? You think he's a better passer than Sam Darnold based on what metric? Hey, and get this. If they want to add more passing, that's why this question's relevant. How else are you going to improve the offense? You going to improve the run game? Or are you going to improve the passing game? Oh. Hey, by the way. Hey, dude, people can have 1 year. Look at Barkley. Barkley was a 1-year wonder. Okay, so here we go with this crazy stuff again, knowing that when Jalen runs, the running game and the offensive line looks better. Lane said it. And every running back has said it. Well, then freaking run. Why would you need to bring in a passing guy when you want to improve the run game? You think Mike McDaniel's going to come in and improve your run game? As I said yesterday, guys, health is going to improve your run game. Not throwing the ball. Dan, if it's that easy to get rid of a quarterback, why is Phillip was the only option for them, 45-year-old man out of 5 years not playing? You say, Mac, he tied for 2 years. Dude, because Phillip Rivers can play the position as good as anybody that's in the game today. Why didn't you go and get like some guy walking the street that's a younger quarterback? I don't know. I mean, why would you get a guy who's not played in 5 years, who hasn't practiced in 5 years? Because the guy knows how to play the position. Who says Jalen knows how to play? God, I'm not bashing. I don't want to sit here and do that today. That's not what this is. This is more about the coordinator. This is more about bringing people in, okay? So here, made the Pro Bowl this year under McDaniel's tenure, dude. I know he did. Well, get this. So let's take a look at the Miami offense. Let's take a look at the Miami offense this year. And this is with the benching of Tagovailoa. So what did the Dolphins offense rank? They were 26th. Passing, Dolphins were 25th. Rushing, Dolphins were 13th. Scoring, Dolphins were 25th. Red zone, Dolphins were 20th. Third down, Dolphins were 26. As far as I'm concerned, Kevin Patullo had a better year than Mike McDaniel a year ago. And you're going to hire Mike McDaniel, who had a lesser year with more gifted players? They got just as many gifted players down there. Their running backs are pretty good. They had Jalen Waddle. I know Tyreek Hill got hurt. I got it. I mean, what did Mike McDaniel do? Show me what he's done that makes you go, that guy is the fit in Philly. What is he going to do? Improve what? The 25th ranked passing game or 25th ranked running game? Come on now. So you're going to bring a guy in and say that guy's going to improve your offense? Well, Jesus, he didn't do crap last year. Make it make sense. Big Sills, the Glazers aren't going to let McDaniel out of the building tomorrow. Josh Grizzard to Philly? No way. What, so we can be – no. I think Josh Grizzard was okay. They had a crap load of injuries there too as well. But I want someone with a little more juice to him if I'm going to put him in Philadelphia. Now, I'll put money on Cliff as the next OC. Fits better. Plus, he got – Leon, to your point, he got to the last stages, right, of the interview a year ago. Or I think it was 2 years ago. He got to the last stages, remember? You know, there was some sort of like – they balked at it, both sides. Cliff went to Washington. The Eagles kind of balked at it too. So the name I've been hearing for a possible offensive coordinator is Charlie Weiss Jr., who's down there at Ole Miss. I think he's at Ole Miss. If I'm not mistaken, he's the Ole Miss offensive coordinator. I thought he was going with Kiffin at LSU, though. But again, I mean, I heard the name too this morning. I did. Uncle Sills, what's Nick's purpose besides being an elite connector? Yeah. I ask you the question every year, guys. What's his job? And I heard Ed Kratz on with the guys today. You know what I heard? Culture builder? Shit, there's been a great culture in Philadelphia for 15 to 20 years. He didn't build that culture. Are you kidding me? You really think Nick Sirianni built the Eagle culture? No, he's extended it, and he's kept it going. That's a talent to keep the culture going. It is. I'm not dismissing that. But to sit there and say he built that culture is laughable. The great players from 17 and 18, they're the ones that poured the cement in your culture. Those were the guys, the Brandon Grahams, the Fletcher Coxes, the Lane Johnsons, the Jason Kelsey. Those were the guys that made the culture. What did Nick do? He had nothing to do with those players. Until the very end when he coached them at the end. He didn't do anything with that. He built the culture of the Eagles. How funny is that? Some of you will believe anything. He built the culture in Philly. Oh, my God. What happened this year? What happened to the culture in 23? Oh, when things were going great in 24, when he had a good OC, things were better. Nick Sirianni's a front runner. It's front running. Things are good, he's great. Things are bad, he's bad. Tell me that's not it. He's a front runner. We've always going to be dealing with coordinator issues as long as Nick's here. You're going to be dealing with coordinator issues because Nick's not a play calling head coach. That's why. Get a play calling head football coach. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind Matt LaFleur being the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia if he decides to leave Green Bay. Matt LaFleur would be a name. I think he's a good play caller. I think he's pretty good with quarterbacks. He was on that Washington Commander staff. None of these names impress me. I honestly don't know who would improve this team other than Harbaugh, Tomlin, or somebody like Johnson from the Bears. Okay? Right. Kevin Stefanski? Maybe. I think he's a pretty good coach. Absolutely. Offensive coordinator. That was some press conference. That was some press conference. Glazed donut. Boy, I'll tell you, that press conference, who wrote the script? M. Reyes? Hey, I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. I mean, make you feel a little uncomfortable watching stuff like that. No. I love you. No. We're boys. I love you. Holy cow. Hey, how about anybody taking accountability for why you guys laid an egg against San Francisco? Whose fault was that? Nobody's? Nick's an elite coach. Okay, well, tell me his biggest job. Play calling? I don't think he's a very good play caller. So let's do this. Let's go down the list of what a good coach is. Okay. Do the players like him? I think they do. Look, what Cliff did in 24 with Jaden, explosive. Yeah, because he was healthy and he was a good player. Yeah, absolutely. Leon, Nick Sirianni. So let's see if he is elite. Let's just say as a coach. Let's put the team record over here to the right, and we'll get to it. I won't dismiss it. Has Nick Sirianni developed Jalen Hurts as a player? Now, there's two ways of looking at that. The John McMullen way or player development way. Guess what he did? Now, do you think this is fair with Jalen Hurts? Nick made Jalen fit to Nick's style. Nick didn't coach to Jalen's style. Do you agree? Listen again. Nick made Jalen fit to Nick's style. Nick did not fit to Jalen's style. Some of you probably won't understand that. Isn't that where you are now? He changed Jalen. Instead of the coach changing for Hurts. Maybe the coach did change for Hurts because it goes that the quarterback's limited. I don't think Nick's a very good play caller. I'll tell you what, Nick's favorite job is. It starts with blow. But I'll let you put it together, Sills. Sills, we are doomed. What the F happened to my precious team? Okay? What happened in the second year? He missed the season, pretty much. Oh, wait. What did you think happened? How many games did Daniels miss? 10? 9? Well, what did you see? And by the way, What did Hurts do the last 2 years? Especially if you consider this year was a down year and still had 1K yards. Because so those guys got their numbers, but the unit stunk. Okay, got it. Oh, they let Michael Clay interview for a lateral position. He must be up, and his contract must be up. That's why you can do that. If your contract is up, you can look at lateral jobs if they okay it, because you know what that means. Michael's going to look for more money. Depending where he goes. What's the job that he's being asked to look at? Is it New York? Maybe Jaden isn't built for the NFL with that skinny body with multiple injuries this year. That's not a bad take. Maybe. Tampa just interviewed Clay. That's right, because they fired their special teams coach who was terrible. And that's a pretty smart move by Todd Bowles and Jason Light. I know that tomorrow Mike McDaniel's interviewing for the OC job in Tampa. Sills, if I'm the Eagles, I'm seeing if I don't want anything to do with Becton. I'm moving on from that, man. I'm moving on from Becton. Okay, the guy's hurt all the time. Last year was an anomaly for him. As good as he played last year, reminds me of Barkley's year. A lot of guys had special years. Do I think he's going to be special if he comes back? I don't. Sills, is Dan Quinn destroying Daniels? I think they got to get a run game going. If you want to preserve that kid, you need to get a running game going. I don't think firing Cliff Kingsbury, who's worked with Patrick Mahomes and Caleb Williams, I don't think that's a smart move. For who? Who are you bringing in? That's going to be more creative than Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury's had a bunch of really great players that he's been personally responsible for the development of NFL quarterbacks. Get someone that has a good feel for situational football and isn't a deer in the headlights like Kevin Patullo was. Well, but again, when you hire a guy like that and you bring a dude like that in, that dude's going to want to come in and bring his own assistant coaches in. You think they're going to give that much autonomy up? No way. Not based off that presser today. They're willing to give some. You know what that means? You get a chance to call Nick's playbook. And you know how they sell that to a guy like Mike McDaniel? Hey, Mike, guess what? I know that you're really proficient in spread offense. I know that you have really some great ideas. But I'm 50-18 in the last 4 years with 2 Super Bowl appearances. Okay? So let's put that on the table. You've done nothing that remotely looks anything near that. So before you start coming in here telling me you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this, I'm 50-18. You had a losing record with the Dolphins. What are we doing here? You want to come in and be the OC? You're not bringing your own people in. You could bring your philosophy in, and we could try to marry the two and try to see if that improves the offense. But we're not getting rid of what we do. By the way, I killed your team at 23. And my team had a down year that year. That's how I'd play it out. Hey, you think you're going to bring coordinators in like Kevin Stefanski, who stunk in Cleveland? I think he's a good coach. He had a lot of road speed bumps put in the way there. But at the end of the day, what are these coaches going to walk into Philadelphia and say? Hey, I'd like to do this. Hey, I'd like to do that. Hey, pump the brakes. We're 50-18 in 4 years with 2 Super Bowl appearances. What'd you do again? Hook me up here. Before you start coming in with grandiose plans and big-name guys. Sirianni's the big-name horse in the room. What'd you do again? I must have missed that. I don't remember you in the room with me playing for championships because I've been in it. What have you done? Our down years are 11-6. I'm actually defending Sirianni here in a way. I'm actually defending Nick here. Look, I don't think the guy's very creative, but the guy is one thing. He sees what he has, and he knows what he has. That's his biggest strength. I know who the quarterback is. Do you really believe, with all these superstar quarterbacks in the league, you think they coach them to the best of the team's success? Or do they try to coach these guys to the best of their abilities? I don't want to coach Dak Prescott to the best of his abilities. I want Dak Prescott to fit in to team success. Dak Prescott throwing the ball 50 times doesn't help me. There is legit no point of Nick being here. I'll tell you the one point that Nick is. I can't believe it. I sound like I'm defending this guy. Nick Sirianni knows what he has, and he wins with it. It may not look what you want him to look like. These other guys make it all. Hey, all these other guys you're talking about, the Todd Munkins, the Mike McDaniel, the Kevin Stefanskis, all these guys are really great names. What have they done? I mean, what have they done? So you're going to walk into a Philadelphia Eagle interview, and I'm going to pretend for a second. By the way, hit the like button, guys. Appreciate you. So I'm going to walk into an interview with the Eagles with Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, and Nick Sirianni. And I got my pad and my book, and I got all my binders and all my slides and all what have you, and how I'm going to approach my interview with you and trying to get to the OC job here in Philly, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, this is what I envision with the offense. I think we can really, elevate the passing game. We can do this. We can do that. Then we over here in the run game, we could try to probably some concepts here when getting Saquon Barkley in space and trying to get him more, to be in space so that we can utilize his great athleticism. Nick's going to turn around and go, 1, he can't catch. 2, the quarterback doesn't throw screens. You're fired. How's that fit? Throwing the ball to Barkley? That don't work. Having Barkley on third down in pass protection? He's terrible. Saquon Barkley is a hindrance on third and long as a running back pass protector. He's horrific. Having him on the field on third down, unless it's third and short, hurts me. And if the quarterback's not running, it hurts me more. So where are we going here? You guys got a lot. Look, I hear all these names. I'm not going to lie to you. I hear all these names, and I'm like, wait a minute, to what end? Seals, how the rumor of Howie looking into Charlie Weiss Jr. intriguing but not experienced? I think he's a good play caller. I liked what he did with Trinidad Chambliss. I thought he was pretty good there. Put him on the pro level. Trinidad Chambliss plays a little like Jalen, doesn't he? You see the tie-in? Trinidad Chambliss play a little like Jalen Hurts. Runner, thrower. Trinidad Chambliss looks a little like a college version of Jalen Hurts, no? When you watch him play? That'd be a great backup, on the football team, depending on what you're going to do with Tanner McKee. Because that guy fits. Throws the ball. He runs the ball. Look at this guy. Let me guess. Your guy you compare him to is Patrick Mahomes. Jalen's better. Really? Hey, congratulations. Jalen's better. I said plays like him, dude. Right? Seals, we have Tank. We barely use him. Gainwell had his best year as a pro. Well, because he went to an offense that utilized his skill set. Eric Bieniemy is a clipboard holder. I have no interest in that. He left the building. They still won a Super Bowl. I think he's a clipboard holder. Plus, let me ask you something. This guy's been on the market for so many years. Why hasn't anybody hired him? Or was he just a product of Andy Reid? Why seems to rely on quarterbacks getting the ball out quickly and on time? Hurts doesn't do that. Of course he doesn't. Okay? Who Jim Harbaugh trade for Justin Herbert would Howie? Of course he would. Because Nick would. Justin Herbert has more similarities to Phillip Rivers than what Jalen Hurts does. This interviewing poorly, what does that mean? Truthful? Like, you know what I would do if I walked into these NFL meetings? Do you want to hear what they want to hear? Do you want to tell them what they want to hear? Or do you want to tell them the truth? Because if you tell them the truth, you're not most likely going to get the job. You know, if Mike McDaniel wants to work in Philly, you know what he'll tell them? I'm here to work whatever way you want to have it done, Nick. Any assistant coach you want to have in the building, I'm open to having him as well. Nick, you want to run 75 run plays? I'm ready to rock. I'll design the best run plays you've ever seen. I will put an offensive game plan around your philosophy. That's the sell. The next offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles has got to tell the Eagles this. Your philosophy, I will build an offense like Ben Johnson did for Caleb Williams. And we will build an offense together that is conducive to team success and to Hurts' success and development. It's the only way you get the job. You walk in there going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change this, I'm going to 50 and 18 guy. You got to walk in there and get this. You got to walk in there and you got to be respectful of 50 and 18. You can't walk in there and start telling people what you want to do, how you're going to improve. Improve what? So the Eagles got beat in a wild card game. I think you guys are really, really, really making it seem that you guys got killed. You didn't get killed. You slipped up in 2025. This is a slip. This isn't a catastrophic falling off the cliff. The Commanders are a catastrophic falling off the cliff. The Kansas City Chiefs, that's a collapse because of length of success. That is a collapse. Eagles had a bad run at the end. They could never get the offense going. There are injuries in it. Not excuses, it's reality. I tell you that all the time with other teams. It works for them dudes too. You think that Glaze Fest today tells me all I need to know about how they think. You know what it is? Just had a bad ending. We don't have a bad team. Did you take out of that press conference on what Xander Krause told us? That they think they have a bad team? Hell no. Bad coaches? Hell no. Bad front office? Hell no. Bad approach? Hell no. We're looking to improve. Improve what? That shitty passing game? For what? You're 50 and 18. Howie said his job is to build up the depth, and that Nick's job is to hire the right OC. I thought it was to develop that talent that he brings and puts on the team. Paraphrasing here, the players have little to no input, nor should they. Abe, I don't give a shit what a player thinks when it comes to building a football team. I could care less. You play, I build, I coach. I don't care what he thinks. Now, if you're Jason Kelsey and you're a guy that's going to help pick the next offensive line, that's an opinion. When I need your opinion, I'll ask. How is the Super Bowl MVP still in developmental phase? You answered your own question. So Lane Johnson plays one more year. You draft his replacement. You put him at right guard and learn from him. Yeah, like they did with Cam Jurgens? Sure. Nick said he makes coaches better. Nick makes coaches better. Yeah, he does. He made Kellen Moore better. You know how he did it? Can't throw the ball with that quarterback. Got to run it. If you want to get fired, you throw the ball like you did in the first 4 games. You want a job in the NFL running a team, being a head coach, you run the ball. By the way, you've been fired twice. If I were you, I'd come up with a scheme on how I'm going to run the ball. Because throwing the ball, you had 26 turnovers in 23 ball games. That's what Hurts had. From 23 to the first 4, he had 26 turnovers in 23 games because he was throwing the football. Put that in context. That's how Kellen Moore got that gig. I can understand that, Sills, but how much do the players trust Sirianni in hiring the right OC? 50-50. He gets it right, he gets it wrong. 50-50. Right? Good, bad, good. Actually, I'll take that back. Good, great. Wait, horrible, great, horrible, great. What do you think? Still says Jimmy Johnson always believed in running the ball. Yes. Yes. During that time, the Miami Dolphins had the greatest passing attack in pro football history. Got him 1 Super Bowl appearance. Jimmy had one of the greatest running backs in the history of the sport, if not the best back. And they won 3 in 4 years. You tell me. And had a great defense. You tell me. Get back to fundamentals and strengthen the chemistry. Eagles were 5th in penalties, last in play clock management. Not good. Actually, we will look at the final numbers on the 2025 Eagles here in a minute. Would you give these takes if Hurts was not African American? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Man, some of you cease to amaze me, man. Jimmy had one of the best offensive lines ever, you tell me. All those guys were drafted pretty much by Tom Landry. They won 5 games previous. That was a dumbass question about Jimmy Johnson, respectfully. Weird comment, Mary. Was that what that was? Shows the Eagles fan in me wants the run game to get back on track, and we'll be back. Yes, you will. The part of me that hates this offense wants us to get McDaniels so Jalen can fail and we can move on. Oh, yeah, you bring a pass coordinating guy in here, and that guy starts throwing picks like he did in 23, you'll get your answer. I'm going to tell you this. If you ran Kyle Shanahan's offense in Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts would be fired by the end of the year. If you ran the same offense that Ben Johnson ran in Detroit, Jalen Hurts would be fired by the end of the year. And it would be malpractice by that coordinator to do that. Why would you do that? It's like, do you think there's any difference driving a tank and driving a Ferrari? You think there's any different skill set on driving a tank and driving a Ferrari? I mean, a lot of things, man. You can still get home and you can still get to where you want to go, but it's just going to be with a different style. Driving a Ferrari and driving a tank. You're still going to get there, but it's different. That's what the offense is with Jalen Hurts. Hey, by the way, they've gotten to where they need to go more so than not than what Mike McDaniel did. I think Dable is going to be the guy, Sills. I can handle that. I'm assuming then that relationship then, if that happens, that Brian Dable and Jalen Hurts were in good places when they were at Alabama. I'm assuming that. Eagles already brought in an ex-Cowboy play caller like Kellen Moore. Now it's going to be an ex-Giant play caller in Brian Dable. You can only hope you get the same result. Yes, you can only hope you get the same result. It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. One of my favorite lines of all time. Absolutely true. O-line was the biggest issues. 3rd and longs killed us. Twiz. Injuries are not a reason. Didn't you just watch San Francisco beat you and didn't use injuries as an excuse? Why are you using injuries as an excuse? Seals, Eagles do have an out on Hurts' contract in the next season, so it could be perfect timing if they bring McDaniels in. I'm bringing a guy in to win. I don't want to bring a guy in to sabotage. Who has that mentality? Really, some of you guys, you need to have a reality check. You're going to bring people in to sabotage your 2026 season? Hey, you could stay at home. I don't need you to interview you. I don't want that guy in my building. I'm looking to win ball games, not sabotage Hurts. Don't you think enough sabotaging of Hurts' career has gone, I'm talking personally, by the wayside because of the way they've coached him? Now you're going to bring in a guy to purposely do it. You don't think the new OC would build an offense based on the quarterback skill set? No. I heard a little bit of Xander, and Xander can correct me at 3:30. I heard a little bit of this. Giving complete autonomy, that's yet to be determined. Morphing the two ideas together, that's more of a reality. You've got the basics of Nick's offense. And if you can add to the outside of it, Nick's offense is the heart of this. It's the heart. When you bring a new coordinator in, that's not the centerpiece. He's the peripheral. What can you add to it? Didn't you hear that press conference today? It was glazed donut. I love you. I love you. We're great. Nothing's wrong. Everything is perfect. Okay? They obviously don't think the season was that much of a lost cause. I'll tell you what. The attitude that they showed today doesn't resemble the attitude of the fan base. The fan base thinks it had a colossal meltdown. The Eagles don't. They just think they had a bad ending to a season that was marred by injury and maybe an inexperienced play caller. That's how they're looking at it. They've got the excuses. You guys are looking at it with reality. They're not. 50-18. Their reality is 50-18. Your reality is Kevin Patullo stunk. And they got you. You know why? They're looking at big picture. You think big picture the Eagles have failed? Not me. No way. No way have they failed. As a matter of fact, they're one of the top 3 franchises in football today. That's how they look at it. Rams, you, and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs had a down year too. You think the Chiefs are looking at them going, we're doing shit wrong here? Hell no. Not doing that. That's not how they do. Get this. So you think 50-18 is bad? Okay. All right, Yale. You get bounced in the wild card. So wait a minute. Did Tom Brady win the Super Bowl every year? That'd be a no. Has anybody ever in the history of the National Football League ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row? That'd be a no. 9 teams have won it back to back in the 60 years of the game. You got bounced in the wild card. Hey, welcome to reality a little bit. You got out coached. It happens. I can't believe this here today. What am I doing? I'm actually siding on the side of the Eagle management guys here today. But my take is you bring someone in and what? Let me see something here. Here. Let me go here. Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel went to Yale. Who cares? He went to Yale. So he's 35-33. Got the same record as Todd Bowles, actually. And he's had 2 years in a row where he's had a losing record. First 2 were 9-8, and the other one was 11-6, 23. And you crushed him. Okay? So in the last 2 years, he's 15-19. He got the most out of Tagovailoa. Now, again, that's head coach stuff. Not coordinator stuff. 2 different things. Pump, did I read yours? Seems the job might not be all that attractive. Here's the OC interview news. Howie, what the F, man? I got you, Pump. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Release times are useless. Skewed stat. It seems it doesn't take into account many factors. Release point? I mean, how about eyeball test? When you watch a guy play, do you go, this guy's elite? Everyone wants us to use the Chiefs as poster of what success should look like. Been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and won 1. Only 2 other teams have done that. Okay? Right. Some guy's going to walk in with a 15-19 record in the last 2 years and go, hey, I want to do it this way. Okay. And Nick Sirianni the last 2 years is what? 25-9. And you're going to listen to a guy who's 15-19 in the last 2 years? I guess so. Because the fan base wants to hear it. I think Brian Dable would be the guy. Well, how about Mike McDaniel? To do what? To do what? How about this? They couldn't even give you today in the presser a definitive answer on Kevin Patullo. What makes you think they're going to give you a definitive answer on anything? They just fired the guy. Hey, is he gone? Well, you need I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know? Guy had his house egged. I don't know. I mean, wait a minute. Is Kevin Patullo still in the building or not? But I don't know. I don't know. Here, I saw something in here. Let's see here. Did I see something with Frank? I saw something with Frank. I know the Eagles have reached out to Frank and have had conversations. I'm not privy to what those conversations were. I do know they've reached out to him. What? I don't know. I'm going to get to Harbaugh, and I'll get to this. What was Harbaugh's record the last 2 years? He got fired and then got $100 million on a record. Not a thing. I wouldn't put John Harbaugh's record the last 2 years and say that guy doesn't and hasn't done anything. You might want to ask the freaking quarterback. What'd the quarterback do this year? Laid an egg against San Francisco, your guy. What did he do? What do I think Vic is thinking right now? Vic Fangio? Well, I'll tell you flat out. He didn't have very high things to say about Mike McDaniel when they left, and nor did the players on the team. I could have swore I heard Mike McDaniel say that the environment I don't think was good for both of us. As a matter of fact, let me get the right words. How come nobody's bringing that up? Mike McDaniel on Vic Fangio leaving the Dolphins. Here. Mike McDaniel described Vic Fangio's departure from the Dolphins as mutual decision, stemming from candid, healthy end-of-the-season talks where both felt it was in the best ways to part ways, despite it being unexpected, allowing Fangio to pursue other opportunities like the Eagle job. And McDaniel emphasized focusing on the future. Mutual and candid. The split was anticipated, but resulted from extensive, healthy conversations where both parties saw it was the best path. Best for both. It allowed both McDaniel and Fangio to pursue new directions. McDaniel wanted to immediately shift and focus on finding a new coordinator that fit our way of doing things. Doesn't seem to me that those guys worked well together. Now they are. Now they're buddies. Based on what conversation? I remember, what was it? Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey saying that Vic Fangio's ways were outdated. I could have swore the coach agreed. So they're going to bring him in? Okay. Good for me. Let him go have a cheesesteak and make up. All right. Fair enough. Hey, listen. If that's in the best interest of the Eagles to bring that guy in and he's got to work with Vic, Vic will work with him. Vic's a pro, dude. Hey, man. Because maybe the guys didn't. I'm sure there are people when Vic was the head coach in Denver. I'm sure there's guys that he likes, and he may have had to fire some folks. It's nothing personal. Sometimes ownership comes in and parachutes in and goes, we need a new direction. Players are bitching about the guy, all right? Remember something, too. Jalen Ramsey's a press corner. He's not going to play zone. He made his reputation on playing press coverage. You think he's going to have a bitch playing that? Vic was probably trying to hook the guy up, saying, look, if you play this zone, your career's going to last longer. So pissed the Eagles are out. You should be, man. They should be playing this weekend, for sure. They are better than a lot of teams still playing. Yeah. But what are you going to do? Better luck next year. Okay, that's the way to look at it. Seals, Howie stepped in and said, Nick is a good coach. But what's good with him is I can bring in someone from the outside and he'll be okay with it. Hey, Abe, you tell me if this what this sounds like. Howie stepped in and said, listen, my girlfriend that I have right now, man, isn't she a good looker? Look at her. Whew. Man, look at Nick. Look how good looking Nick is, man. What a great looking chick. And what I love about Nick is I get to have a gumad on the side. And I can have a girlfriend on the side. And I'm okay with that. And, hey, Nick's good with it. What a great looking girl here. Look at Nick Sirianni. Hey, man, I really love her. Look at him. It's Nick Sirianni guy, man. He's one hell of a guy. He's my guy. He's elite. But I'm going to have a gumad on the side, like I'm Tony Soprano. Okay? And she's going to work the bada bing. And I'm going to, and what I love about Nick is he doesn't get upset about it. So where are you at night? He doesn't ask that question. Where are you at night? I don't know. I'm at the bada bing. What do you want? Right? That's how I take that. Guy comes in, wants to change Nick's completely successful offense around to look like something different. What's his gig? I mean, hey, if you're going to take him and go like this, why don't you just kick his ass out the door? Here's Howie. Hey, I love him. Wait, the cannolis are gone. That's all right. I still like him. Yeah. Hey, that's what we got going on. What we got going here, man? Does full autonomy mean that did he ask saying who plays like Vic does? No. Nick Sirianni's got full say in that. I don't know why I'm going this. Usually this, right? That's how you cut him. I don't know. I don't know how you cut him. I don't know why I'm underneath. It's more like this, right? So it's more like that. I'm assuming you would know, right? So it's this way, not this way. Yeah. I don't know. I just new coordinator. All right. And so let's take a look. Hey, real quick before Z comes up with us. By the way, Howard Eskin at 4:30. Obviously, since the Eagles went down with the ship this year in the front office, the next 2 years were more important. Remember what we said in the offseason? Remember one of the major topics we had this offseason? You think Howie Roseman mortgaged the 2025 season for 26 and 27? Well, I'm going to make a comment to you, man. If you don't extend Jalen Carter, all that stuff you guys were talking about in the offseason was BS. If they don't give Jalen Carter a contract extension and they punt with the 5th-year option, you dump that whole team for nothing. By the way, I'm not saying that you can sign everybody, but you didn't sign anybody. You signed one dude, Zach Bond. Isn't he lovely? Howie did Nick today. Get lotion. Puts the lotion on. Rubs the lotion on. It's kind of wormy, isn't it? He's just so good. He's an elite. I mean, I've got to tell you, this guy's so good. Howie, you're the best. Oh, my God. You get your man car revoked like that, don't you? Sitting there glazing over one another in public. I mean, if you want to do that in privacy of a Hotel 6 or something, I get it. But you want to sit there and do that in front of people when you just got knocked out of the playoffs by an absolutely outman San Francisco team and you're sitting around glazing one another? It's absolutely unbecoming. I mean, how do you do that? You guys go glazing one another and you just got knocked out of the playoffs and you tell everybody how great you are. Holy cow. We got knocked out of the playoffs. My coach is great. He's elite. He got knocked out when the guy was using Kyle Shanahan was using guys that are on the Eagle scout team and on the Eagle practice squad. They beat you with practice squad guys. The 49ers beat you with practice squad dudes. So the press conference was a bunch of rates around. Yeah. Carter just going into his fourth year. Not how you know. Carter wants a new deal. How do you know Carter wants a new deal? What do you think? Drew Rosenhaus is thinking. It takes Howie and Drew to agree. Doesn't matter what Howie wants. Okay, well, get this. Carter has no control of his fate. He's under his rookie contract. You picked a fifth year up, you could tag him twice as well. You could put that guy in the abyss for the next 4 years if you felt like it. What are you talking, Twiz? What do you make it sound like Carter has any say? He's got another year, then the fifth, then you could tag him twice. Where do the Eagles not have the leverage? Where do they not have the leverage? He has no place. He can't do anything. They both sat next to each other like they were at Sadie Hawkins' dance. Hey, I heard, what was the name of that place? Oh, by the way, I can't wait until Friday at 5:30. Hold on here for a second. Let's see here. Hold on. I'll tell you. Hey, I got a place for you. Hold on. What's the name of the place? Here it is. Have you guys ever heard of a place? Sin City. Sin City. Anybody? I've never been there. So I don't know what it is. Does anybody know in Philly what Sin City is? Can anybody help me? I heard it's an establishment in Philly. Does anybody know? Sin City. It's like a club. Not. Sin City's called Vegas. I got it. But in Philly, there's a place called Sin City. Anybody know? You ever been there? I don't know. Okay. It's what is that? Wait a minute. It's a strip club. Get out. No way. Really? Huh. It's just, wow. All right. Got it. I didn't know. Somebody told me about a place. So I don't know. I'm just, Seals frequents the Rainbow. I don't know. I've never been to the place. That's not me. No way. I'm just an observer here. I'm a professional observer, and this is what I watch here with your football team. Wait till you hear what we got for you on Friday at 5:30. It's going to be quite interesting. And believe me, this will make noise. What we have at 5:30 at Friday. So put that back in your hats. Everybody watching right now, 5:30 on Friday. Make sure you're here. Today's presser, General Hospital vibes. You okay? Hey, what was Jalen's season like? Did anybody ask that? Nope. Nick, you're great. Howie, you're wonderful. You just got bounced in the wild card round. Make that make sense. And you're going to hire a coordinator the way that they talk today and think that the coordinator is going to come in and push those two guys around? I don't believe autonomy. I don't believe that. I believe that you're going to have some autonomy, but you're going to have less autonomy than what you think. That's going to preclude some of the big name guys. Or if some of those big name guys want to work around it, like Kellen Moore did. Kellen Moore that's the pitch if you're the Eagles. Hey, look, Kellen Moore worked around it. Do you want to? Kellen Moore's the head coach. You work with us, you're either going to become a head football coach or you're going to be dog doo-doo. Want to gamble? They need a guy like that. They need a guy who has nothing to lose. Kellen Moore had nothing to lose. Mike McDaniel has something to lose here. He has something to lose. Seals, does this mean that that's a no for Dougie P? I don't know what they're going to – I don't know what they're looking for. Do they want people that are going to be a coordinator work with Nick? Because I'm sorry, I do not believe they're going to just do this. And I don't know who would believe this. You think they're just going to go like this? To Nick Sirianni's playbook and go, hey, bring yours in. Todd Monken is going to New York with John Harbaugh. By the way, before we bring Big Z in here, John Harbaugh getting that deal, hey, you got to like Steve Biscotti. You know what that is? Get this. You know what you have to love about him? So wait a minute. You fired me and I got a raise. And now I'm making $100 million and I'm the highest paid guy in the league. Who are you going to hire? I can't wait to see who they hire. And you hear the owner? I made John Harbaugh. I'll make the next John Harbaugh. Okay. Oh, my God. These guys with their egos, man. Holy cow. Hey, did you see Xander's face on earlier, man, when he was listening to that press conference? I think he felt uncomfortable because it was like two dudes glazing each other in public, and he was probably like, yeah, that's not me. If it was two chicks talking like that, that's one thing. It kind of sounded like that as well, no? All right. So, by the way, we're going to do this today, too. My top NFL division teams, I want you to rank them. And the top quarterbacks that are in the divisional rounds this weekend. So we're going to do that as well. All right. Hit that like button. Supers go to the top. Don't forget, Howard Eskin at 4:30. Our friend, without further ado, Big Z, Xander Kraus joins us now.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
How you got a little more time to absorb that press conference? How you feeling about that presser?
You know, I just started locking in and working on some other stuff. I didn't go back and rewatch the thing. I didn't look that much further into what they said. You know, I'll say this. While they were glazing each other a little bit, it seemed like Howie was disappointed with the outcome of the season, which is a good thing. You know, and it also seemed like he was ready to make some moves. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't I didn't think it was necessary for Howie to stop the press conference and say, we have an elite head coach. I feel honored to work with this elite head coach. All right, Howie. Howie, just figure out how to go a little further in the playoffs this year, or figure out how to get the most out of your offense. All right. But other than that, all good, Sills.
How about
on to the offseason we go, my friend.
How about this, though? And you know what? I can't believe how much love I've kind of thrown at the front office a little bit. Don't you think today they kind of gave you an overall view over the last 5 years and went like this? Hey, dude, we're 50-18. We had a trip up in the wild card. Okay, granted. But at the end of the day, you guys are looking at the now, and you guys are overreacting right now. You think some coordinator is going to roll in here and change up 50-18 when that stiff was a stiff 15-19? Get this. That guy's lost 19 ball games in 2 years. That guy's lost 19 ball games in 5 years. And you're going to come in here and tell me what to do? No way.
Slippery slope, though, to fall into that, we've been successful. That's
how that came off today, though, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that's not a great way to approach anything in life. It's not about what you've done; it's about where you're going and what you're doing, and what comes next. So we'll see. But I think an off-season topic that me and you ought to have in one of these days here is we ought to review every move that was made by Howie Roseman since the end of last season. I mean, I can think of a couple off the top of my head where he did not have a good off. Now, I don't think he was the number one reason. I think that roster was good enough and they didn't live up to their expectation. I'm not saying that it's more Howie than anything, but I mean, I look at a couple trades that were made. I look at a couple contracts that were signed. The contract for Saquon Barkley, which was unnecessary. You look at the Cam Jurgens contract, which maybe did we jump the gun on that? You look at that Jacorian Bennett trade where you get rid of a good defensive tackle depth piece in Thomas Booker, and you bring in a guy who really barely plays any snaps at all for you in the year. He's gone. So, I think we ought to look at some of Howie's moves and just kind of see how did he have as a season? Because he's fixed a lot of what he used to make mistake-wise. But the one area that he did struggle with was once you win, maintaining that roster. And I do wonder if, there's some lessons he might have learned from what he did last offseason.
Okay, well, what'd you make of the Sam Howell deal? Were you saying of like
you want to do it right now?
Well, just a little bit here. I mean, what do you make
of
Sam
okay. Howell? No problem with that.
What do you make of the Sam Howell move?
Well, yeah, he's fine.
Would you make it a Michael Carter move?
Michael Carter didn't play too much, did he? He played a little bit late in here.
Okay. What? How about the Jair Alexander thing?
Pointless but low cost.
Okay. How about the defensive end you signed that quit on you?
Zadarius Smith. You know what it sounds like? It doesn't sound like there's any egregious move. What it sounds like is that it's they made moves to make moves, moves that had no ultimate meaning, that were they took you for a loop. Oh, yeah, Howie's this. Oh, the greatest GM. Oh, man, what a move. Oh, my, they fleeced them. Oh, baby. And then they all add up to nothing.
Do you believe that Milton and Josh Sweat were replaced?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the interior of the D line was the problem all year, or the edge was a problem early, but I think Jalen Phillips helped it,
You think Adoree Jackson replaced Slay and Rodgers?
No, but again, I can't. It's tough for me to look at that defense. I know the defense wasn't as good, or was good, but it didn't get to where it was.
Okay,
but like John and Mike Gill on the show yesterday, they're bringing up that the defense, didn't have that good of a game, and the offense gave them the lead, and the defense doesn't get a stop. And I'm like,
the defense kept them in it.
If you're trying to tell me that I should blame the defense, they got 2 interceptions in the second half of the football game.
3 points off it.
3 points. It should have never got to the end of the game in the last drive. So I have a hard time looking at the defense and saying, okay, let's focus on the defense as a big problem point.
Are you a fan of the Tyler Steen move, putting him in there as starter?
I didn't have a problem with that.
You think it was a downgrade or upgrade from?
It was a downgrade, but Mekhi had a tough year. Now I don't know if what he would have done here, but he had a tough year in LA.
Do you think the Eagles not addressing the tight end position in this offseason was an issue as well? Because I get the touchdowns, there was a lot of them. Do you think that guy played well this year? Dallas Goedert?
He played good. I mean, he was good in the red zone. He struggled in the blocking game this year. That's what John's telling me. So, but yeah, I thought he was all right. I mean, he's not problem number one, but we don't. I just think the offense is, you're never going to have great seasons from these type of skill position players, other than Saquon. But
all right, here now. Let me ask you this on the offensive coordinator. Let me go here one more. You think you replace Gardner Johnson?
No, that was one of the worst moves, and that was an ego move. They don't like Gardner Johnson's big mouth. They don't like the way he handles himself, which I get it. Locker room cohesion is a thing, but Gardner Johnson was a good player, flat out. And by the way, he's in Chicago, and they're in the Final Four. I don't know that thing the further we get, man, the trend keeps going in Gardner Johnson's favor. You get rid of CJ and you get bounced. The team that CJ goes to plays deep into the playoffs.
I mean, look at this here. I want to go here, Gardner Johnson here. I want to show you something here, which am I right when I say this about this guy's career? So look at his career path here. In the last 4 years that this guy has played, right? And correct me if I'm wrong on this. In his last 4 years, okay? So in his last 4 years, he's been in the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship game in Detroit. He got hurt a lot that year, but he still played in Detroit. In 24, he goes to the Super Bowl. And right now, in 25, am I right when I say this? He's in the playoffs with the Houston Texans. Is that right?
Yep. Right? No, he's not with the Texans.
Oh, with the Chicago Bears.
With the Bears.
With the Bears. Jeez, this guy, I mean, I'll tell you what, he may be a headache, but he's a winner.
I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in the presser. I mean, I just think it was like, I don't know, Curtis. It's like right after you get bounced in round one, is that the time to like glaze each other on the podium? I mean, both of them are going out of their way to make comments. It's like, who can butter the other person up more? It's like, oh, gosh.
You think Mike McDaniel's the right fit for the offensive coordinator position in Philadelphia?
Well, I don't think it's the right fit for the way they play ball right now, but what I do like about it is it will bring clarity to the offense. Meaning if Mike McDaniel comes here and they throw the ball around the yard and they have a good offense, then you know that Nick Sirianni was making a wrong decision with the way he approached the game. If Mike McDaniel comes here, runs his offense, it falls flat, turnovers galore, and they have to make a change and go back to a run-first style, then you're going to know really quickly that the problem isn't the coaching, and Nick was actually right about the way he was playing offense, and Jalen Hurts is the reason that they run the offense they do. Now, I think Jalen's the reason they run it too, but what I will say is I don't know that they've given him enough opportunity to show whether he could do another thing. So I don't know. Nick sees Jalen a lot more than us. You remember Howard Eskin, who's going to be on here at 4:30. Earlier in the year, he referenced, people get to see Tanner McKee at practice, and whatever, make of it what you will. I thought Howard had a good point with the way he explained it, but does the head coach see the quarterback more than all of us? The answer to that is yes. And with that being said, is he right about the offense that they want to put around Jalen instead of asking Jalen to do more to win more games? Because I'll say this: coordinators get fired all the time. If Josh Allen's coordinator got fired, which I think it did a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, Ken Dorsey.
Yeah. Nobody in those press conferences asked, hey, is Josh Allen the reason that your offense didn't work? Same with most other quarterbacks. Like a lot of the questions today, mostly Jeff McClain, respect to Jeff McClain. I thought he asked the most relevant questions today. Jalen's there is a question mark in the air, and there's not much clarity on how much Jalen has to do with the offensive inefficiencies. It's fair to say there's no overwhelming evidence it's all Jalen, But it's also fair to say, vice versa is true as well, where you don't know if it's none Jalen or is it all Jalen. I don't know. It's tough to tell.
But Xander, if the coach is coaching him that way, it is Jalen.
Yeah, because it is. But remember,
if he's putting an offensive system around that quarterback that he sees fit, like when Mike McDaniel, let's just use that name, he wants to be the OC. He comes in. You don't think he's going to sit down with Mike McDaniel and go, "This is what the quarterback can do.
He's going to.
The quarterback can't do."
But remember, Mike McDaniel's a little bit like positively delusional in a good way. Like, you remember when he got the Miami job and he calls up Tua and they're on the plane, or Tua's on the plane or something, and he's like, "Yeah, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league." That didn't work. So I think, but I think that might be good. I don't want to hear what Jalen can't do. Let's see what he can do. I don't want to hear what he can't do. I think the thing with Jalen is, like,
I think we all know what he can't do. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to say it again.
Yeah, but also I think he can be better. I don't know how much. I think that's the question. What is he capable of? I think everybody's still kind of waiting to see that. But
it's 6 years, Xander.
Well, look, I told you yesterday, this is my belief. And again, I don't profess to be the expert or the know-it-all. I just talk about the game. I've always believed this, that people, not just football players, but most people inherently have traits and have personalities and have genes and have, different genetics and different things.
Stripes.
Right, exactly. And development to me means taking what somebody's good at, where they are right now, and accentuating their talent within what they do well to the best of their ability, getting the most out of their God-given abilities.
That's coaching.
To me, it doesn't mean turning Lamar Jackson into Jared Goff or turning Jared Goff into Lamar Jackson, if that makes sense. It's not, you don't add new skill set. That you can marginally, but you're not going to, like you said, you're not going to change the stripes on a zebra, So that's kind of how I view it, which is why I struggle with people who tell me, well, just let Jalen develop. I mean, he's going to be in year, 7 next year? Is that right? 7? Yeah. I mean, we're getting up there, guys. So year 7 is next year. How much of a skill set are you expecting to add on? Not getting better at what Jalen does well, but adding on to Jalen's repertoire. I don't know. Maybe it's more than I think. Maybe it is.
All right. Well, let me ask this question then about Nick Sirianni and how he's coached him. Do you think that Nick has changed Jalen Hurts to fit him? Shouldn't have been Nick should have changed for Jalen Hurts.
Nick did change for Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Yeah.
He changed for Jalen Hurts.
100%.
Okay. So that's in the betterment of the team, not the player, correct?
From Nick's perspective, yes. And the data would insinuate that Nick Sirianni has been largely correct.
Correct. So how he sees him.
I wonder why you beat on Nick so much. You just don't see it.
No. What I'm saying is, I think that's actually, I gave him kudos. I think that's smart. I do.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wonder.
But here's where you get in trouble. When everything around the team is not perfect, you get your ass waxed by Kyle Shanahan with practice squad players. And you have lesser margins if that roster's not healthy and producing. When it doesn't have health, and when you don't, do you agree with this, Ander? If you don't have health and the players aren't producing, your coaching on that side of the ball with that philosophy can't outcoach Kyle Shanahan, who could take a practice squad roster and beat you with it. The players aren't playing?
Yeah, the margin is smaller, dude. That's a fact.
The margins are bigger with Kyle because he could do more with less.
Yeah, but it's not just Kyle.
Well, okay. Any great guy who knows how to run a football team when it comes to being a play caller. Look at what we say here all the time with Kansas City. Name me a player in the last 4 years Kansas City has outside of Travis Kelce on offense where, you know what? I know you've got the greatness of Mahomes. I got that. But Juju Smith-Schuster and all these other
Travis
balls.
Kelce hasn't been that good in the last 3
Correct.
years.
I mean, look at what they do in that building and how many wins they have.
Yeah, he's a tough comp because Mahomes is kind
I
of a
get it, but I'm
modern guy.
talking, bro, that guy accentuates everybody around, even bums.
You know what's funny about Mahomes is his mechanics are awful.
Awful. Dude, the guy in
But-
Cincinnati's better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe Burrow is probably the best in terms of like raw football.
But do you get where I'm going
quarterback.
with Nick? Look, when it makes it sound like Nick's a front runner. When things are great, Nick's great. When things are bad, Nick's bad.
Yeah, but
You think he had a good year coaching this year? Maybe he
had
did.
a great year coaching.
If you look on the other side of it, Xander, maybe he did, because the team wasn't very good offensively. There were injuries in the O-line. The coordinator wasn't the hottest, and they still won 11 games. Maybe that's why they're glazing one another, saying that, you know what? We did have a down year. Our down year, again, has been 11 wins, 2 of the last.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that is impressive. You know,
It is.
if you're down years, 11 wins, because I think everybody does have to set the premise, even the most diehard fans, the most diehard Jalenites, you know, Reyes, Roll Philly, whoever you want to say. Everybody should have a very clear understanding that you're not going to win every year. So that should be your framework in which you operate. If you approach, you know, the thought process on the success of the team, whether or not they win it every single year, that's your goal every year. But that as an expectation is just stupid. It's not possible. Tom Brady won the most of all time. He had 7 out of 20 something seasons.
25 blinded people.
So I'm just saying, if you take that and you look at, all right, these are the years we came up short. It's like, all right, we won the NFC East, you know, won 11 football games. It's not bad.
Wait. Let me show you something here. So your offense in 2025, you were 24th total. You were 23rd in pass, 18th in rushing. You were 19th you were 10th in scoring. You were first in 19th in scoring, excuse me. You were first in red zone. You were 24th and third down. And you won 11 games and you won the East. Now, let me look at it on a positive with the glass half full here, which I never do, but let me do it. You think that's bad? With what you did with less like that when your offense is down there in the toilet? I'm not making excuses. They underachieved. They underachieved as coaches. They underachieved as players. They still won the East. They still won 11 games.
That's true.
And they're still heading in a good direction heading into 26.
You know what's an interesting thing is
you're not falling off the cliff here, are you?
I mean, we went through it yesterday. Almost the whole defense is under contract. Almost the whole offense is under contract.
I mean, this is not like the Cowboys a couple of years ago where they had to jettison everybody.
I mean, you got Jalen Phillips and Reed Blankenship on defense, and you got Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson on offense. That's it. Everybody else is under contract. One of the things that I think is highly fascinating or something worthy of keeping your eye on here is if they do end up with a guy like a Mike McDaniel, which I actually don't think they're gonna. He's gotten some head coaching interviews. He's interviewed all over the place with offensive.
Buccaneers on Friday for the OC gig.
And my guess there, they interviewed Michael Clay today, whose contract expires next month. My whole perspective on Mike McDaniel would be like even taking Jalen out of it for a second, he runs the West Coast offense. Like I don't really think we have the personnel for that. Forget the quarterback. I'm not even talking. You need a back that can catch the ball. You need jet sweep guys. You need screen game guys. You need manufactured touch players.
It's got to look like
Debo, they like to spread the ball, though, east and west, make the defense, cover a whole field laterally. I don't think the Eagles have the guys for that.
It's got to look like Kyle Shanahan, Debo Samuel personnel kind of guys.
Why do you think Kyle Shanahan wanted to get Christian McCaffrey so bad?
Because he kept putting him all multiple places.
And he catches the football, Saquon Barkley, boy, he can run the ball, but, man, he can't catch. He can't catch. We don't have a jet sweep guy. Who's running the jet sweeps?
Do you agree? He's a deficiency on 3rd and long.
Oh, yeah. Can't block.
Can't catch.
How about 3rd and short? 3rd and 3. First drive of the second half in the playoff game. Jalen throws the ball right at Saquon Barkley's chest. Ball hits the ground off his hands. 3rd and 3, and he had space. They would have picked up a first down. That was a 3 and out. That was a big change in the game.
Why'd you let Kenny Gainwell out of the building?
They didn't use him correctly anyway. Jalen doesn't use running backs like that.
Okay, so then Mike McDaniel's the wrong guy.
And what do you mean? Why'd they let him walk? They're paying Saquon Barkley $20 million.
Well, I don't think he signed for any more than $3 million there.
No, he didn't. He signed a bargain basement deal in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't think.
God bless him. I hope he goes and gets paid. Kenny Gainwell's a dope dude.
Kenny
Gainwell contract.
Yeah, I don't think he signed.
1 year, $1.79 million.
You couldn't put that on your budget, 1.17, to have him as the alternative third down guy?
Well, what would you rather do? Would you rather have paid that to Kenny Gainwell, or would you rather?
Wait a minute. We're talking about having a West Coast offense.
Listen, let me finish. Would you rather have paid that to Kenny Gainwell, or would you rather have sent the 5th and a 6th round pick for Tank Bigsby?
I'd rather have Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, I'd rather have Kenny Gainwell in the picks.
Yeah. Well, the point we're making here
you do get another year with Tank.
Hold on here. You're right, Z. But listen, if you want to change this offense to a Mike McDaniel or Stefanski or spread guys, you need people like Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't got that guy. The closest guy to that is Shipley.
I agree completely.
So you're not changing to that shit. How much change do you think you're going to see with the new coordinator with Nick Style? Nick, they said it today. We want to mesh both. Wasn't that kind of?
Well, not really. That's not really what was said. Nick was open to the idea of somebody having full autonomy of the offense.
Okay.
But he also said, like, there's nuance, like if that's not the right direction of the football team, I'm not going to be the head coach and just not step in, which is the right thing. If you don't let me say this, because I see people all the time saying, just don't let Nick touch the offense at all. If that's what you believe, that Nick Sirianni can't make as much of a decision about how to wipe his own ass, then why'd you keep him as your head coach? There's no sense keeping him in the building if you don't believe he should have any voice in the offense. That's what head coaches do. John Harbaugh is a CEO head coach. He hires offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. He's the overseer. That's what Nick wants to be. So if Nick has something to say and you believe he shouldn't be able to say anything, then he shouldn't even be the head coach in the first place.
Do you believe this was the takeaway today? That Nick, and I'm going to use a quote, Nick Sirianni thinks it's best for the football team when I'm the head coach. He also seems to think that for him, he doesn't want to have to worry about the offense unless he has to. And does that mean you're going to see a new guy roll in here and take the team over, and he's going to allow it? How much rope do you think Nick's going to give a guy rolling in here? Now, is that going to be based on experience? Because last year he couldn't have been happy with a first-time play caller. He had to be more involved from day one, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you bring a guy in with experience, are you going to be hovering over him like a hawk on his shoulder, or are you going to sit back?
Well, you would hope it would be like to Kellen Moore. I mean, Kellen Moore ultimately ended up running Nick's offense, but, he did have autonomy within that after they changed off his philosophy. He was willing to change off it.
First 4 games after Kellen had to switch.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts had more than 30 attempts in all of the first 4 games last year.
Correct.
He had 38 in one game.
Had pretty good turnover rate too.
Yeah, 7 in the first 4 games.
Right. Okay. Like I said, he had 26 turnovers in 23 games.
I still can't get over Howie stopping the press conference to make sure he got in. We have an elite head coach. I feel honored to work with this elite head coach, this elite connector. Okay, Howie.
Why would you glaze somebody after a horrific loss to an end of a season like that? I don't get it. That's not what people want to hear.
Well, it's optics too, remember. This guy won the Super Bowl less than 12 months. I thought that was a strategic comment by Nick Sirianni today.
It is.
Some of these coaches who have won a Super Bowl less than 12 months, I thought that was a very strategic comment. Let me remind everybody, as they rip me for losing this year, that less than 12 months ago, we were parading down Broad Street. About a month. I think that was almost a year ago today, wasn't it?
No, February
9th, they won.
February 9th
was the Monday. Friday was the parade. So 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Yesterday was 1 year after the parade. Yeah, that was one of my favorite segments we ever did when I got back from the parade. You remember that segment?
I do, man.
Segment.
Dude, that was an iconic moment, man.
If you want to cheer up everybody, you should go rewatch that segment. That was
that make you feel good, man, because that was a great moment there. So when does Jalen Hurts kind of give – you think Jalen Hurts should make anything public on what he wants?
No?
He's
not going to make anything public. I mean, he'll have some.
Okay, about private.
They asked him if Jalen will have any say in it. They said we're going to use everything at our disposal, but he's not going to make the decision. They'll talk to him though. That's fine.
No. I'm not asking to make a decision, but I mean, Xander, when does the quarterback go like this? Well, I've heard him say it though, so I'll give him credit for it. I've heard him say the coordinator changes too much. Would like to have a little continuity in here. He talks a little bit more than you think in the offseason when he talks about the change in the OC. I can't wait to see who they pair up with him, because when they hired a guy, I'll know what they think of him.
We're gonna see.
I'll know what.
It's a clarity year for the Eagles. It's an upcoming season. It's a clarity year. You're gonna figure out
for the offense.
Yes, for the offense. And I think the defense is going to be really good next year.
I have no problems about the defense next year.
I think the defense is going to be really good next year.
I think your defense is going to be in the top 5 next year. I'll make that proclamation right now on January 15th. You want to have that way too early bold prediction? I think that bitch will be in the top 5 next year. Okay?
Well, it depends on the offense. If they're the 3-and-out Kings again, no, they're not.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to have a lot of talent over there. You're going to look like the Texans.
No.
With that horrible offense.
Wait, so all right. I'm not even going to say it.
I don't think the offense is going to change.
Let me just ask this question. I'll say it. So if the Texans go on to win the Super Bowl, everybody in this chat will be subscribing to that CJ Stroud's an elite quarterback, right?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Well, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl, is he elite?
Sam's a good quarterback, not elite.
Oh. Okay, so if you want to win a Super Bowl, you're not elite? All right. I got it. I know. I can't wait to
see. Who the Texans got next? Patriots?
Yeah, I believe yes. Yeah. Hold on, let me get it. God, it's such good games this weekend too. Coaching too. The Texans have the Patriots in Foxborough.
Oh, I hope the Patriots beat them. I want to see that Drake May kid go the distance. I like him.
You think Allen goes into Denver and gets it done?
Yeah, I think he does. I said I was out on Buffalo early in the playoff run. I just didn't think they had the horses, but I think they got momentum from that first game. Now, here's the thing. They lost 2 receivers in that game, and they already had no receiver. They lost Gabe Davis and that Shavers guy. Both of them tore an ACL, I believe. They already had no receivers. Who in God's name is Josh Allen going to throw to this week?
Tupac Shakur. Hey, how about this one? I think this is kind of an odd number here. San Francisco goes to Seattle. You ready for this? Seattle's only favored by 6.5. 6.5 in Seattle. With that trash can,
don't let the lines fool you. We were favored by. Remember, everybody. We went from 3.5 to 4.5 to 5.5 to 6. Everybody's like, "Oh, they know something. Vegas knows something. Eagles are going to throttle them." Yeah, what happened?
Oh, my other comment today was, I am 1,000%. Today, I wanted to come out. I don't want anything to do with trading AJ Brown. No way. No way. You're going to take cap money on. You're going to get a lesser player back, and your offense is going to be worse, and you're going to try to hire a coordinator to spread the offense. Help me make that make sense to me. I know this. I'm not the smartest clam in the ocean, but I know that ain't smart.
The only way it's possible, I think, is if AJ Brown really wants out.
I'm not getting rid of him even if he wants to get out
Yeah,
of here.
but you can't let that permeate in the locker room. Like, if he doesn't, Ed Kratz brought up a great point this morning. He's like, I saw a lack of focus. I saw a guy who was upset with the offense earlier in the year. Ultimately, he was talked to by the owner. He had to become quiet, and you could slowly see him disengage a little bit more and more and more.
Yeah,
And then when the biggest moments come, a lack of focus, a lack of effort, and a lack of execution follows when you're not focused. And if you hate where you are so much to the point where the fun of what you do, or the love of the game, or the desire and the passion that burns within the best players is gone, that's why you get drops. You don't get drops from A.J. Brown because he lost his talent. You get drops because he wasn't focused. He lacked effort. He didn't do what he needed to do to prepare himself week in and week out to dominate at the highest level. He was disengaged. So if he's disengaged again, is that worth bringing back? I agree with you, though. I mean, if you think this team is getting better without AJ, I can see the tweets now. He's going to be running for 1,400 yards in New England, and everyone's going to be tweeting, well, I can't believe he's gone.
And I guess he didn't lose his step. I mean, hey, do you think he lost the love of the game a little bit last year?
Yeah, I do. In Philly, for sure. Can you blame him?
Not in Philly, in that offense.
Yeah, in the offense.
Yeah.
But the offense is Philly's offense. So, yeah, in Philly.
Shouldn't this be one of Nick Sirianni's T-shirts this year? End the noise. Like all the noise. End it. And the noise.
Just play better. And there is no noise when you execute.
The noise on that team this year was so loud that
it was Cowboy-esque.
It was. It just end the noise. Just you know what? End the noise. I get it. Play better. Sure. But dude, everybody, just end the noise. You're too good for that crap. Do you want to be Mark?
I'm sure AJ looks at it like AJ probably looks at it like, I got a shit stain 2 years on my resume because I play in this shit offense. I mean, that guy could be running up 1,500 yards a year easily.
CeeDee Lamb's not better than that guy today.
I don't think so either.
I do.
CeeDee Lamb's a talented player, but I agree.
What? Yeah, no, that's why I compared him to him. He's not better than him. He's in a better offense than him. And hey, and for the record, the one thing that I'll give Nick credit for with Jalen, he runs an offense that makes the team better and win. He doesn't make an offense to make the individual look better. They win, dude. All right, I want to do something with you here. Oh, wait, would you make it a hardball money?
Well, do you remember what I was saying earlier about, this is not the time to rest on your laurels? Whatever you think of John Harbaugh, the New York Giants are going to be a better football team. They're going to be a more established football team. They're going to, they are going to be on the right track. Now, they might not go and, dominate. They might not win the NFC East, but they're not going to be the New York Giants that we've come to deal with. This is the best hire for the New York Football Giants since who? Since probably Tom Coughlin, easily. Right. So they've had a bunch of stiffs. They've had Joe Judge. They've had Brian Dable. They've had all of these guys who are not good at coaching, or proved to be not so good in the head coaching role, certainly in that city, in that market. And now you got a guy who's got great pedigree, who's got obviously knows how to win. He's won at a very high level for a long time. He's got Super Bowl pedigree in that he won a Super Bowl in 2012 with Joe Flacco. He's got a right coordinator to pair with the style of quarterback that Jackson Dart is, and they got a lot of assets in the chamber to try and keep building. They got a great defensive line. So if they improve, let's just say that offensive line, and you add another skill position player next to Malik Neighbors, you're looking at an offense and a defense that can make some hay. I look over at the Commanders. I see a team that regressed this year, but I see a quarterback, obviously, that has immense talent. Let's see what he is. I mean, I think the injury stuff is something really to watch there. I think they're aging too much, which is why I said last summer I did not believe in the Commanders. I thought they made the wrong moves for their window, which they thought they had. But so I think they're going to finish fourth in the East this year. But I don't think they're going to be a bad fourth. I don't think they're going to be a 3-win fourth.
It depends on Daniels.
Yeah, but dude, even his skill position players, you got Terry McLaurin's like 32, or he's getting older. Okay. Deebo Samuel's how old?
Who did he go to the NFC title game with? McLaurin and who?
I forget that guy's name. What was that guy's name? He punched the ball out. He fumbled. Fuck, what was that guy's name? He fumbled in the NFC Championship game.
I mean, they really didn't have a lot of talent in that NFC title game run, did they? They didn't really have a lot. It's going to come down to
Who was that guy that fumbled? Who was that dude that fumbled? Diami Brown, baby.
Brown.
Oh, Zach Ertz had 111 catches for 104 in that game.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, not Noah Brown. It's Diami Brown.
How about this, Andrew? You know what you're getting when you get John Harbaugh? This guy had a 24-game win streak in the preseason. 24-game win streak. Wait. What I'm telling you is
you said that like it meant something.
No, it does when it comes to preparation for a season.
Right,
because getting your guys ready to play and having everything as a sense of urgency and making sure that you show up to work every day, knowing whether or not it's preseason or it's game one or it's the Super Bowl.
It's like Brady. Brady used to say, if you're not working hard in practice, I don't want you on my game.
That's correct.
Yep.
You know what Brady used to tell Bruce Arians? All the things I do in practice are the things I do in games. That's why I practice the way I do in practice.
There's a clip right now. Yeah, I think Brady's great.
That's a mentality, isn't it?
Brady's awesome in the media. He's good, man.
Isn't he?
Excellent on podcast.
I don't know why people.
Excellent in the booth. I think I thought he was the best guy in the booth this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, did you see when he was talking about throwing in the wind and all that?
Oh, amazing. He's a little too
technical.
No, I love the technical. I think he's a little too everybody's like a great quarterback to Tom, which I get. You know, he's not going to come in here and ruffle feathers.
You know what Troy Aikman said the toughest transition was for him coming out of the huddle versus going into the booth? He had to shit on some of his friends that were the quarterback.
Exactly.
And he had to really be critical.
Exactly.
And Troy said that was the toughest thing, to sit there and be critical of some of his friends. I think that's kind of what Brady's going through right now. All right, I want to do something here with you until we get Howard Eskin on. You ready? By the way, Super Chats go to the top. Please hit that like button. You guys have been sensational this week, and I can't thank you enough, man. Guys have been awesome. The content has been – I've never seen it before. During the regular season, you guys are winning. Now all of a sudden everybody's going like this. What the hell is going to happen next?
Never. I love it. Where's Twiz? Is Twiz in the chat? Twiz, what's the quote you always put in about Philadelphia people loving being miserable, or the cream? You always use it with the cream cheese or something. Twiz, if you're out there, put that in the chat.
Twiz has got something. He's got like a 49er thing on his.
Yeah, because he makes bets with the people.
Oh, that's good. All right, yeah.
So he makes bets with somebody that's a 49er fan, and if they lose, then he's got to make his profile picture.
All right, so Xander, I want you to rank the 8 divisional teams, and I want you to rank, and we're going to rank the 8 divisional quarterbacks.
Here's the quote. I got it. Wait, real quick. You got it? Here is Mike Schmidt, the legendary Phillies first baseman. If you're associated with the Philadelphia media or town, you look for negatives. I don't know if there's something about their upbringing, or they have too many hoagies or too much cream cheese.
Oh, man. Philly fan would rather be miserable than happy. Yeah.
Sometimes there's beauty in misery. You think we were blessed with all these range of emotions that we have by God, so we can only feel one of them?
Bro,
you got to feel them all.
It's a great sport. It's a great sports community. It truly is.
Bunch of head cases.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm one of them, so I don't care. I can call you. All you idiots listening, you're all head cases.
Hey,
all right?
Big Silk parachutes right in there. I'm all right with that, man.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that stuff, man. I'm like the vapor on the sideline, man. Yeah. I'm good with him, too, sitting there blowing doobs there in Buffalo. That's your new OC. Can you imagine him standing next to Big Dom blowing doobs? Hey, Dom, I don't. Oh, my God. All right, Z, I'm going to give you my top 8 teams in the divisional round heading in. You ready?
I'll do it with you, but go ahead. Give me yours.
All right. Sorry, man. Number 8, Eagle fans. The San Francisco 49ers.
How many times did I tell you leading up to our game with them that they were a team to watch?
You did.
I must have told you 30 times. Everybody in the chat laughed at me. Oh, we got the Niners in wild card. That's awesome. Okay.
Hey, all I heard was somebody was calling it a stone cold lock. I'm not going to name any names.
That would be yours truly, John McMullen.
Xander kept doing this all week. Hey, John, you're putting the juju on us.
All right, go ahead. You got 8 Niners.
Okay, 7, I got the Texans. 6, I got the Bills. 5, I've got the Bears. 4, I got the Patriots. 3, I got the Rams. 2, I got Denver. 1, I got the Seahawks.
I agree. I'd switch Denver and the Rams. Same 8, though.
Denver and the Rams.
I'd put Rams at 2.
Okay. Dude, is Seattle going to win a Super Bowl?
Well, they didn't play a playoff game yet, so let's see.
Okay.
Remember last year? Everybody thought the Detroit Lions, they won the big game in Week 18. They get the 1 seed. Oh, we get the rest. Da-da-da-da-da. Woo, thank God for the rest.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Bounced by the Commanders. Best team in the league all year, the Lions. Bounced.
If they hold court for the divisional game and the NFC Championship game, I think they're going to Santa Clara.
The Seahawks?
Mm-hmm.
You see,
I don't think the Rams, dude, I think the Rams could get beat this weekend by Chicago.
I think the Seahawks could get beat, dude. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
It's not that I think the 49ers are a better team. Okay, it's not. But when I look at that matchup, all right, the hardest thing for the Niners is going to be moving the ball on that stout defense, okay? But when you talk about Sam Darnold and the big moments, it's not so much that I don't like Darnold. It's that I like the chess match of Robert Saleh versus Sam Darnold. It doesn't mean they got the horses to stop him. They didn't have the horses to stop us either, okay? But what happened? Robert Saleh had the advantage. He had the mental edge in that game. So if I look at that Niners defense and I think they can they create a turnover or two? They were unable to create a turnover versus the Eagles. Darnold is a little bit more turnover prone than Jalen Hurts is.
Yes.
If they can create a turnover and that offense can get McCaffrey going more than they did in the game in week 7 or week 18, then I think that's upset alert. Now, I think the Seahawks have a much better chance to win the game. I do. But I'm watching that game. I don't view that as a game of, okay, Seattle's going to be in the championship game. Not yet. There's something to be said about this in football as well. All sports, but very much so football. Never count out a team that has the intangibles going for them. The Eagles had the intangibles going for them last year. When I say intangibles, I mean the camaraderie, the hype around, the bought in, the togetherness of the team, the belief in one another, the love, the city behind you. I mean, last year we had our problems. It felt like the entire time this city believed we were going to the Super Bowl. The whole time. If you listen to that 49ers team, if you hear the way Kyle Shanahan spoke in the locker room after the wild card win, if you heard the way the owner went and consoled and talked to George Kittle after he blew out his Achilles, if you listen to their fan base that remains faithful, as they call themselves, that's a team right now that has all the intangibles in their corner. I think there's something to be said for that. They have the momentum.
You see what happened today?
No.
Fred Warner was practicing.
Yeah, they opened his window yesterday.
So let me ask you this. You tell me that doesn't add to that juice you just talked about? You seeing that guy doing everything he can to get out there and play?
It absolutely does.
He fractured his ankle in week 6.
It is. I got a lot of respect. I got a lot of respect for the Niners fan base. I think they are a great fan base. They're a good fan base, 100%.
I completely agree.
Yeah. We have actually a lot of 49ers people in here. I don't know if they're in here right now, but we have quite a few.
We do. Hey, how about Jason Avante going off on Jalen Hurts?
Jason Avant, I thought he went off on AJ. Did he go off on Hurts now too?
Yeah, on the Howard Eskin show. So Howard's going to be coming up with us.
Oh, I didn't see that. I got to watch Howard's show.
Yeah,
always seen on the Howard show. Howard's got a great show.
He said that he went in on him. Was being very honest about Jalen Hurts.
Well, I think look, I don't understand what happened, and Howard would be a good guy to ask about this. You've been doing sports talk forever. You haven't been in Philly forever. You've been in Philly for 5 years. Howard's the architect of sports talk in this city.
Right.
Has the city always been like this? Like it's not hate to just be honest about where a player is and who a player is. I feel like we're in this world of like everybody walks on eggshells about what the truth is. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts has some major deficiencies that make it harder to play consistent offensive football, certainly in the modern game. That to me shouldn't be controversial to talk about. Is there things that are subjective? Absolutely. Is there things where opinion drives the narrative? Absolutely. But I do think there's an objective reality of all players have deficiencies. What are your players' deficiencies? And then the other factor is the quarterback is always going to be the most valuable part of a team, whether it's good or bad value. They're always going to be the most important player. So it's obviously going to be a topic of conversation. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember I was a kid with McNabb. I was young. I was born in 98. I was a kid with McNabb. I remember this city ruthless on Donovan.
Obliterating him
all the time. Now, Donovan had his problems. I'm not going to say it wasn't all warranted, but I don't remember there being this invisible bubble that existed where nobody was criticized. It was almost like uncommon to not criticize him. I don't know. I don't remember it like
that. They destroyed Randall.
Yeah, that was obviously way before my time.
But they did. They destroyed Randall. Destroyed him.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I mean, all right, here's my quarterbacks. Ready? Then we'll do supers, and then we'll do Howard Eskin.
Wait, real quick. Here you go. I don't like McNabb. Donovan McAss. Puke that Super Bowl McNabb. See? I mean, the guy's probably the best quarterback in Eagle history.
Talent-wise, yes.
It's crazy.
All right. So here's my top 8 quarterbacks in the playoffs and the divisional round this weekend. I got Stroud at 8. I got Purdy at 7.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I got Nix at 6. I got Caleb Williams at 5.
You think Brock Purdy is worse than Bo Nix?
I think he's got a better supporting cast.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you finish. Sorry to cut you off.
All right. At 4, I've got Daniels. Sam Darnold, I mean. At 3, I got May. 2, I got Allen. 1, I got Stafford.
That's perfect. Perfect list, except for I'd go. You had Caleb at 5.
Yeah,
you had Purdy way too low.
7.
Yeah, dude, come on. Brock is way better than that.
Are you going to put him in front of Sam Darnold?
Dude, Purdy's. I don't think people. I really don't think people give Purdy enough credit.
I agree. We're going to put him in front of right now. Who's playing the way they're
playing. What
makes
makes Purdy amazing? Purdy was a 99th percentile, Sills. 99th percentile in the S2 cognitive test. Now, that's not the end-all be-all, but that's a test that strictly gauges processing speed. One of the most important traits playing football, playing quarterback in the NFL level.
Where'd you pull this from?
I researched it from his draft profile.
That's fantastic knowledge.
Jalen's was very low. CJ Stroud's very low. And you see when defenses start to learn players and learn tendencies, that metric gets more and more important. Because if I'm CJ Stroud, I come in, nobody's got the book on me. I can make the throws. I can do all the things. I look great my rookie year. A little bit more people learn about me. A little bit more people learn about it. And now you see CJ Stroud. What was he doing in that playoff game last week? How many turnovers did he have?
4.
He was a shell. He didn't know where to look. Defenses confused him, and they took advantage of his processing ability. Same thing. You're seeing that with a lot of quarterbacks now. So when I look at Brock Purdy, and you say, oh, you got the vaunted Seahawks defense, the only way to really mess Purdy up is to get to him.
Yeah.
Get to him and get pressure in his face.
Yep.
You're not going to trip him up with defensive coverages. No. You're not going to – his post-snap reading is going to be second to none. I think Purdy deserves a lot of credit for that. I really do.
You know what? He threatens the middle of the field maybe as much as 100%. Any quarterback in the league.
100%. And he's one of the best at it.
That's right. And you know what? You're going to see picks because that's where all the traffic is.
Yeah.
But he has no problem Hurts refuses to attack the middle of the field. So let me hear yours. I got Stafford 1, Allen 2, May 3, Darnold 4, Williams 5, Nick 6, Purdy 7, and Stroud 8.
Yeah, I'll go Stafford 1, Josh 2, agreed. May 3. Give me Purdy 4. Give me Caleb 5. Give me Darnold 6. Give me Bo Nick 7. Give me CJ Stroud 8.
I like your list better. I think Purdy has to be up there too because of processing.
Purdy's toughest thing is his limitations. Yeah, physical limitation. He's smaller.
Little guy.
Yeah, smaller dude. That's what
he is. All right, let's read some of these supers here before Howard Eskin.
If that guy was 6'5", he'd be the best quarterback in football.
He would.
Yeah.
By the way, if he was 6'5", he wouldn't be Mr. Irrelevant.
You can take that to the bank, my friend. All right, let's go to these supers. Here's Theo. Z, if only we had a QB in 99th percentile cognitive test and played for Stanford. Oh, I don't know what Tanner McKee's cognitive rating was.
If Mac Jones had initially been drafted by the 49ers, would he be starting right now?
Who, Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Potentially. But I think it all worked out for him. I think Purdy's, falling to the right place. Yeah. So well, I don't know. Tough one to answer.
If I was a team, I don't really like these NFL draft picks coming out for quarterback.
Yeah.
I'd ask the Niners what they wanted for that guy. I bet you might get a 3 for that dude.
Yeah, I can see that.
Exceptionally well.
Eagles all day says, I think Mac Jones would be exceptional in the Eagles offense, but I digress.
How about this, Mac Jones in Minnesota?
That'd be a phenomenal fit. In fact, you could make an argument that's who they should go for. Not somebody else. Here's Eagle all day. Sam Darnold added to injury report. Is that right?
Woo!
That's trouble. Why would they add him to an injury report Thursday before Wild Card weekend or before divisional round?
Yeah, no, that's not good. 49ers, man. Could you be getting ready to go potentially to the Super Bowl in your own backyard?
Potentially. I'm telling you, that team, there is something about that team right now. And beating the Eagles adds to it, We were the big boys.
If that team gets to the Super Bowl, Eagle fans should look at it and go, well, shit, wait a minute here. That team wasn't all that bad.
Yeah. Here is Corporate Pump. Get me that Point Dexter, and let's get this run started. Maybe Nick and Mikey can fight over who has the best ankle pants. I don't even know what this guy's talking
He's talking about Mike McDaniel. He wears capris.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. He can be goofy. Just make the
offense. I'm right with goofy though, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm goofy. Tyler said, do you guys think the next OC is the insurance policy to Nick? Come the halfway point of next year, AJ keeps sharing stuff on socials. He's staying. What stuff on socials? I didn't see anything. I'll look.
Yeah.
Mr. Hill says, Sirianni's parting speech after the loss on Hard Knocks inspired me as a fan. That's why he is the coach. I didn't see it.
Sirianni's parting speech? I didn't see it either. Not especially after that glazed donut today, man. That thing they were doing today.
Yeah. Glazing each other. Team fell way short of expectations. What are you glazing each other up here for?
Let's see here.
But that's what they do. That's the Eagles organization,
Absolutely.
Here's Eagle all day. Says oblique and is questionable. Let me look this up. Is Darnold's not going to miss this game, is he?
No way. They miss this game, they'll lose.
Yeah. Oblique, questionable. I see it.
Wow. That's a tough one, man. If that guy can't take snaps.
And they gave him a designation. Questionable is.
Yeah. That's almost game time decision.
Oh, there's a video of him using a Theragun on the practice.
Holy cow, man!
He'll play. He's running around out there. He'll play. He'll play.
Let's see here.
Drew Lock did get some reps though.
Okay, that's not good. Let's see here. Did you get the link? Let me see.
You should got it. I sent it.
Okay. Let's see here. All right.
He's got it. All right, brother. Good show, man. I will.
So what was that one question you wanted me to ask Howard?
Well, no, I thought Howard would shed a light on. I just feel like the city has changed in the way that you can talk about sports. I mean, even Howard from his show on here a couple months ago. I mean, how many people like threatening and all? I get shit. I'm generally pretty nice to the Eagles. I don't know. I feel like it's changed. That's all.
And the way they cover guys today?
Yeah.
Because Donovan McNabb and, like I said, and Randall Cunningham,
100%.
They dumped on those two guys.
Yep. All right, brother. I'll catch you tomorrow, right, man?
Got you, man. Appreciate you, Big Z. Thank you so much, man. All right, guys. Angelo the other day, what did he call Howard's friend, Kevin Patullo? He texts me, too, and he goes, Howard's buddy, Bobo Patullo, out. He said, make sure you send that to Howard. Bobo Patullo. And I was like, wait a minute. Angelo, I got to tell you, Howard said you don't really like anybody. But Jason Avant kicked some ass. And I implore you to go take a look at that show that Howard Eskin just did with Jason. Pretty entertaining stuff. I can't wait to get his takeaway on the 2025 season. And also that Glaze Fest that we saw today with the presser. Yeah, and who should be the next OC? Without further ado, our friend Howard Eskin joins us now here on the program. Howard, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm just great. I'm just absolutely sensational. But we knew Patullo was going to be out because there's so much outrage, people egging his house, his kids getting abused in school. I mean, it's disgraceful what Eagles fans do to somebody. And we all know, whether you like the coach or not, it's not just one person. And you mentioned Jason Avant, and he said, the play call, he didn't like the play call. Well, maybe that's what Jason or Jalen wanted. But the other issue is he got to the line of scrimmage late, so he really couldn't change the play. And that's happened continually this year. And it's not because the plays are getting in late. But the reality is, Jason Avant said, I don't care what the play call is, and I'm paraphrasing, you can't throw into triple coverage when it's your season. You've got to find a way to try to extend the play. And is that Kevin Patullo's fault? You can blame him that he threw into triple coverage. You can't. And actually, there was a fourth player there too, I think, in the area. I mean, what is he doing? Like, it's just, you can say what you want about the coaches, but the players have to make plays. And that's not, you find another quarterback and I could pick any one of five that wouldn't have thrown that pass. Any one of five, but they're all top quarterbacks in the league. Is Jalen Hurts a top quarterback in the league? No, he's not.
I think the firing of Kevin Patullo was a fire. I think it was, whether he's there or not, it's not going to change what they do because the quarterback's still in the building.
I mean, you could bring in Bill Walsh. You think that would change? You could bring in, and Jimmy Johnson let his assistants, that, let his assistants make all the decisions, but he had some good people around him, and they were very successful with above average quarterbacks. I would say for the most part, Steve Walsh had a great year. What was it? Erickson had a nice year, but not star quarterbacks.
No,
but they made plays because they knew they couldn't throw in the triple.
I don't think Troy Aikman had all the superstar skill set. I think Troy Aikman played inside a sandbox. You had Michael Irvin. You had a phenomenal run game with Emmitt Smith. I think Troy played inside of a great system. I never looked at him and went, man, that's John Elway.
Yeah,
I never looked at him like that.
So, the coach is a good support system, but coaches will tell me, and they've told me in the past, that you don't want to run a play that the quarterback is not as comfortable with. So didn't they talk about that play before they ran the play? I mean, they all had to discuss the play. So if Jalen wanted a different play, Do you think they would have run that play? No, they would have run a play that he was comfortable with. But that was an easy play. Not a lot of, and everybody, I mean, McCoy brought it up. LaShawn McCoy brought it up. Jason Avant brought it up when he was on the show with me last night. They don't run a lot of motion. They don't run because I don't know if the quarterback's comfortable with all that.
He's not.
Well, no, it's a question that already has an answer.
It's a rhetorical. Yeah, I get it. It's rhetorical. I get it. I mean,
okay, so Angelo can blame every coach in the world. He would have blamed Vince Lombardi. He would have blamed Bill Walsh. He would have blamed Chuck Noll. He would have blamed Tom Landry. He would have blamed Jimmy Johnson. He would have blamed them all. Was it Jimmy Johnson's fault when he couldn't win? He went to Miami, right? And he really couldn't win there because he didn't have the players. He didn't have all the players, but it really comes down to the players. And I don't know what I don't think, and the Eagles probably won't like me saying this. I don't think it's a good job.
Huh? The OC job's not a good job in your eyes.
Well, it's a good job if a guy's coming from, it's like John Harbaugh worked his way up from a special teams coach. So if you're working your way up, depending on
maybe a guy like Kellen who'd been fired twice from Dallas, Kellen Moore, who had been fired twice. He got fired from Dallas and he got fired from the Chargers.
Okay. So, but you take a job to take the step up. So you'll do that. I've heard the name Josh McCown. Josh, I don't think Josh was here when Jalen was here. And who's he with? Tennessee now? Is he with Tennessee?
Yeah. He wasn't here.
And no, and I don't know. I mean, he would take the job to take a step up, but he's a quarterback. But again, you've got to get the quarterback to buy into everything you want to do. So you don't think after all these years,
We're going into year 7 too, by the way, with Hurts.
Yeah. Okay. And Nick Sirianni, what did he bring up? Put up something today, which was kind of ridiculous at that news conference. The things that he's willing to do. Oh, he was willing to do, take snaps under center. They almost, and I'm going to get a little strong. They almost had to beg Jalen Hurts to take snaps under center because he wasn't as comfortable. Kellen Moore couldn't do much of that last year, but they didn't have to worry about it because Saquon Barkley had such a tremendous year. So you got away with it, but they tried, and he's not comfortable because he's not 6'3" Tom Brady tall. But Drew Brees, how did Drew Brees handle taking snaps?
Are they coaching around Jalen Hurts' arrogance?
I don't think he's arrogant. I just don't think he's comfortable, and they don't want to.
Well, it's arrogant to think, though, Howard, that he's going to win games from the pocket.
Well, wait a minute. He's not a pocket passer.
Well, then why are you trying to make him one?
Well, the teams are making him one. The other teams, when they put 5-man fronts and they stop your running game and they cut off the edges. So the other teams are making him a pocket.
Why is he stopping running then? Why is he not running anymore like he did in 22, where he had over 760 yards? He just stopped doing that.
I think they're cutting off the edges. I think other teams,
Yep.
I think the teams are cutting off the edges and say, because they want him to stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
They'll give him more time. I mean, I can see other teams, and talking to a couple of coaches, not here, but elsewhere, they want him to stay in the pocket because they don't think he's as good. And how many people have said that? Tom Brady.
4 seconds he gets in the pocket, and you're right, and he can't find an open guy.
I mean, it's just, you've talked to Kurt Warner. I've talked to Kurt Warner, Chris Sims, all these guys who know what they're talking about, who Tom Brady on the broadcast, he's just not as comfortable in the pocket, which is amazing. But he was never that kind of quarterback because he didn't have to do that. That's the way, most of these guys coming out of college now, they're all athletic, and they all, if they don't find maybe the second progression, they kind of take off. But
Howard, you know this organization as well as anybody that is in that city. You tell me this BS about autonomy, okay? How much autonomy are you going to give a new coordinator? And follow me here. You know what autonomy means to me? Well, that means I get to bring my own offensive passing coordinator. I get to bring in my own quarterback coach. I get to bring in my own O-line coach. How am I going to sell a vision on what I want my offense to look like when you're giving me your coaches to try to sell my vision? That's not autonomy. It's not just game and situational game calling on Sundays. Do you believe that organization's just going to bend over and go, hey, here's the offense. It's yours. Go ahead.
no, because they're going to, well, it depends on who they hire. Let's say when Ben Johnson was an offensive coordinator, and obviously Detroit knew that he was good at what he did, you're going to allow him to have autonomy. The head coach still, if he doesn't like something, can change that. And, how many of those plays this year were the head coach? Because, you blame Kevin Patullo. That's another thing. And I like Nick Sirianni, and I think he's a very good coach. And I think he's creative. And I think he's a lot of things that are good about, people get caught up in his being very animated on the sideline. And that's the bad. To say he's a bad coach because of that is ridiculous, because he still knows what he's doing. But how much of it was him? He said that he has taken over. He took over some of the play calling. So how much of that play calling was him? Do you think on that last play that Nick Sirianni wasn't involved in the play call?
Of course he was.
Okay. So you blame Kevin Patullo. I mean, it's just
I think Kevin Patullo this week's irrelevant. I think the quarterback style of play and who he is as a player in the pocket is the one thing that's consummate with all these changes. Why? Besides the fact that, listen, there's no doubt it's the same style of play. You could change all the coordinators you want, Howard. If you could bring new guys in, bring Mike McDaniel would have to change, like Kellen Moore changed. It's the style of the quarterback, the inability to get a playoff in on time, keep listening and telling the guy where to throw the ball. He's limited. The same pre-draft stuff that he struggled with coming out of Alabama is still there. He
doesn't acknowledge that he actually came from Oklahoma, because he wants people to say he talks about Nick Saban all the time. Nick Saban's the one that benched him for Tua. So, hey, listen, he's talented. He's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. And sometimes you need a great quarterback if you're going to win. Hey, when you really break this down, the offensive line wasn't as good, which then the next level is then your running game isn't as good. Okay. And the defenses did some things to kind of take some of that away to force the quarterback to throw the football. So when you have these things, and the offensive line was the year before was the best in the I think the best in the NFL. They weren't close to that this year. Injuries, losing a player. I think Cam Jurgens, who had surgery in the offseason, was probably banged up most of the year. Landon Dickerson is the toughest son of a gun I've ever seen. But he's always banged up, but he comes out there and he just gives you everything he's got. So I can't fault him. But again, then the offensive line isn't quite as good. So you can't do the same things. And if you're not going to be really, it goes down to the first thing I said. The offensive line and then the running game aren't the same. And now the quarterback has to be better.
Yeah, but Howard, let me here. Okay, and you're right. But I watched San Francisco with a limited O-line. Kittle's out. The defense is depleted. I saw Christian McCaffrey banged up. And there was practice squad guys on that team. And that team beat them because they were better coached. They didn't have the better. Would you not agree that San Francisco did not have a better roster than the Eagles rolling into that game? but they still outcoached them.
The more talented team doesn't always win. And
because
we know that.
the coaching showed its head in that game.
Well, Shanahan did some good things, but I go one of the plays, McCaffrey, not the trick play, but the other play. Okay, where he came over, he just had everybody over on one side, and then McCaffrey's on the other side. But Purdy had to give himself a little more time in the pocket, so he stepped up. I don't know that you see Jalen Hurts step up. So he gave himself that extra half a second just so McCaffrey could get open over the middle.
And it pulls the linebackers and it pulls the safety up when you step up. It's brilliant. It's a great observation by you because that's how you move defenders, with your feet in your head.
And so when you look at that, the Eagles, this is amazing. The Eagles scored less than 20 points against 7 winning teams this year. Less than 20 points. So they're supposed to think about that. Man. So they're supposed to be that talented, but they scored less than 20 points. What did I tell you? I told you before this game, 24 is the number I look at to win the game.
Yeah.
And if the Eagles had 24, they won the game, but they didn't get the 24. All right. So, which is, whatever. When I brought up that number to Jason Avant last night, he says 24 points, I think he said, is 14th in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
The average of. So where is that? That doesn't put you among some of the top teams.
No.
That's not very good. That's not very good. But the reality is when they scored less than 20 points against the 7 winning teams they played, that's not a good thing.
That's amazing here. Would you give me your overall synopsis of what you think of the 2025 season? Howard Eskin, the 2025 Philadelphia season, Eagles season was what? Missed opportunity?
No, they weren't good enough. I mean, I've been saying to people, they're a good team, but they're not a Super Bowl team. I think it was a failure because if you win one game and then you go on the road and lose, that's another thing. But if you don't win the first game and you're the division winner of a horse crap division, that division, just because they won the division, that division sucks. And John Harbaugh is going to make the Giants better. I don't know when, if it's next year or the year. They'll be better next year. I don't know if they'll be good enough. John Harbaugh is going to do a good, and he's got a quarterback. He went to a team with a quarterback.
That's right.
So you need a quarterback to win. And if Jackson Dart stays healthy, I think he's going to be, he's already shown that he can be a good quarterback. So, but they lost the first game. So I think if I had to take one word, I think it was a failure. It's a failure when you don't win your only playoff game. How about this? And it's a gambling trend that I got from the guy that does my, that I have on Saturdays. He's a handicapper. A team that wins as a home underdog the next week is winless in 16 games when they're again a home underdog. Who is that? Who is that? Chicago. Okay, Chicago won as a home underdog, and they're a home underdog again. I think they're 0-16. I don't know how far that goes back. So the Eagles, if they had won the game, they'd have some kind of history.
The chances of getting to the NFC Championship game,
they'd have some kind of history on their side. Chicago's not going to win against the Rams. The Rams are I think the best team in the NFC. But regardless, how about that trend? That's amazing. I threw you a bone. I throw other people a bone
that you've done there with the points there. Do you move off of AJ Brown in the offseason?
I think you almost have to. The problem is you want to get something good in a draft and a pick, and he's making over $30 million a year. It's not an easy play. He's good, again, I go back. Jason Avant is one of the most honest people I have. His honesty is refreshing because it doesn't happen that much with ex-athletes.
Absolutely.
He said, AJ's got probably 3 or 4 more good years left. And if he was with, I'll give you, where are the teams he mentioned? If he went to Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson, Kyle Shanahan, or Sean McVay, he'd have an unbelievable year. Now, can the Eagles, he's a really good receiver, but can you go through this drama again if you're going to have some of these, words is a bad word, but I'll use that, some of these issues come up again,
Noise.
even with
a lot of noise. There was a whole ton of noise.
And
right?
Jason Avant said, and I kind of agree, it's probably, but you can't just give him away. It's probably better if he moves on. And you can find, there's so many athletic and talented wide receivers, maybe not at AJ Brown's level, but can develop into that level. And maybe you can save some money because there's a lot of players that the Eagles have to spend money to keep.
I want you to give me an education lesson on Philadelphia. Okay. No, seriously, I want you to help me here. Okay. Because Andrew has something. And listen, I played in the era when Randall played. I remember you guys obliterating him. Same thing with Donovan McNabb. There used to be a time in this city where if a guy failed, he got his ass kicked.
Donovan McNabb got destroyed.
He got destroyed. Well, how come they don't do that with Hurts? How come it's more like girlfriend and boyfriend and everyone's got this love affair? What happened to the city, Howard? I mean, am I wrong when we say that?
Well, no, they've directed their attention because I don't think, not all Eagles fans, but many Eagles fans just aren't smart enough to understand. They're just not smart enough. They're maybe one of the most passionate in the country as far as a football fan base, but I just don't think enough fans are smart enough. So the easy way, you either blame the coach or the quarterback. They don't want to blame the quarterback because they've fallen in love with Jalen Hurts, and Jalen does this and Jalen does that and Jalen this and Jalen that. But so they go after the coach. And now it's like, what players, I'm trying to think what players on this Philadelphia Eagles team, and obviously they didn't succeed because losing in the first round at home is not succeeding. What player have they criticized? The fan base, what player? You're going to tell me that there's not a player on that team that sucked? There's players on that team that didn't do.
Well, who had a good year offensively this year, you think? Nobody.
Well, Saquon still had just under 1,500 yards, but it wasn't.
No. He had 1,000. He didn't have a.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
He had 1,008 or some 1,003.
Oh, okay. So that I was wrong. Okay. I thought he had a bonus for 1,500 yards.
No.
So, okay. So that's not, so he didn't have a successful year, but he's coming off all those touches the year before.
755 carries I added up in 2 years for him.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. So I understand why he didn't. He's got to get stronger again. And again, the offensive line wasn't as good, but he just wasn't. Once he gets past the first level, he's pretty good, but he would get past the first level better than he did this year. Last year, he got into the second level, so he didn't have a good enough year. Good, a terrific guy, and he'll take the responsibility. Devontae Smith he's a terrific person and a terrific wide receiver. But who didn't have a good Lane Johnson was banged up, so you can't really fault him. Cam Jurgens didn't have the same kind of year that he had the year before. I'm going to do this, and it's just and I love Jason Kelce, but he spoke in the last few days. When they don't speak about Taylor Swift, they actually talk football. It's just, but they get people to watch talking about Taylor Swift, who I love. That family, the family's terrific, and I know the family. But he talked about the issues with the Eagles and never once mentioned the name Jalen Hurts.
No way.
don't you have to mention him in some way as the previous center? You know some of the challenges and some of the issues as the previous center of this football team. So, Jason, it's brutal. It's brutal. That's embarrassing. I'm going to tell Jason Kelsey that's embarrassing that you didn't bring up his name. Hey, listen, there's other people. So, who had a good year? I think Devontae Smith still had a good, solid year. On offense, Bixby, but he's a backup running back. I mean,
yeah, now we're going to the second tier of the auditorium.
I'm telling. Well, look at when the team scores less than 20 points against the 7 winning teams. Okay,
Howard, how about this here? So we all agreed that Carson Wentz's window was probably 5 years that he had where he thought maybe he played well. So now
he was the MVP of the year that they won.
Yeah,
the
he
Super
won the Burt
Bowl.
Bell Award. Okay, he won that award. He was up again, 11-2 when he got knocked out in that game, I believe, against the Rams.
It was in L.A. Threw a touchdown pass with a torn
ACL right after he got.
And they knew he was hurt. He came over to the sidelines, and he didn't say he didn't know what he had, but he knew he was hurt. And Doug Peterson said, basically, can you give me one more play?
So he has a small window. And I say this, and you tell me if you agree or disagree. Well, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' time. I always said this. I never thought this was for a long period of time. I thought this was going to be around 7-8 years where you were going to have a productive quarterback that was going to help you win a lot of games. And now that the league is caught up with what this guy is and this guy isn't, that you're starting to see the tail end going the other way. He's not a progression reader. He throws to the numbers. He rolls out. He's not very good in the pocket. And you're starting to see teams catch up with that right now. And you're starting to see the end. This is more towards the end than it is still the middle. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Yeah, I agree. He's got to evolve. And next year is the year he's got to evolve. We'll see. Again, I don't think it's all the coach. The coach can say he wants to play, but if he's not comfortable running the play, it's pretty simple. During the week, it's usually Thursday that the quarterback and the head coach and the offensive coordinator, and I know Jeff Stoutland's in those meetings because he's very involved with the offense. They get together. Okay, here's what we like, the coaches, and Jalen, what do you like? So they talk about the things that he's comfortable with. So apparently he's not comfortable with. You're going to tell me they want to run an offense that really doesn't have a lot of imagination. They had a trick play on the tush push. Okay, great. And they do a shovel pass. Okay, that's basic stuff, which can't be a fumble because it's a forward pass. So it's a low risk play that the teams aren't going to guard against that much. But other than that, what do they do?
Nothing.
But I'm telling you, it's not the coaches that don't want to do that.
No,
the coaches want to do that.
Quarterback can't.
Yeah, or can't, or is not comfortable with it.
Howard, even you have a little bit being uncomfortable saying that about Hurts. That the guy's just limited, and that's why Nick's limited. Nick's not a limit. Here's a number for you. When he was working with Frank Wright in San Diego, when the team was still there, the Chargers, Philip Rivers threw the ball 690 times, and he was the passing coordinator of that team. This guy here a year ago threw the ball 361 times. And again, the pass has no creativity. You think Nick got stupid overnight? You think it's stupid overnight?
No.
He knows what the guy is.
But a coach will never force. I like Chip Kelly, not as an NFL coach.
As a coordinator, maybe, right?
Yeah, right, as a coordinator. But he kind of forces things that he likes that players he might not have the right player to do that. And Nick Sirianni does not do that. He wants Jalen Hurts to be comfortable. They started taking Nick brought up they took snaps under center this year, so Jalen will do whatever you want him
That's
to do.
a cosmetic fix.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, but they kind of backed off that a little bit the last 4 or 5 games. They didn't take as many snaps under center because apparently, I'll say apparently, but I know he's not comfortable taking the snap under center.
Why isn't he comfortable taking there?
Well, because he's not tall enough.
Yeah.
He feels like he can't see well enough into the secondary.
I completely agree. I'm not putting an under 6'2" quarterback in my huddle.
Well, sometimes it's an under. I mean, you have some. I mean, how big is Caleb Williams? How big is Bo Nix?
Well, what's the one thing they do with Caleb Williams? They roll him out, get him out in the open, so he makes plays out in the open.
Because
That's
he's
what
looking downfield. Yeah, he looks downfield.
Right. He keeps his head downfield, doesn't drop his head like Hurts does. So let me ask you this: What do you think the next moves are for this team here? Is it going to be same old next year? Or do you think we're going to be looking at exactly is this more about health? Is this going to be more about direction? New OC? I mean, what are they going to be a Super Bowl contending team next year?
Well, they'll be a Super Bowl contending team, but they've got some work to do to be a real Super Bowl team. And I mean, just getting there because the league's getting better. The league's getting better. I don't know how long Stafford's going to last. So how long are the Rams going to hold up? Seattle, how long are they going to be good?
Bears are getting better.
The Bears, obviously, I think the Giants will be better next year in their division. I don't know that they're going to win the division.
Packers aren't going anywhere. They're getting Parsons back.
No. So the Packers aren't good enough. Detroit might rebound from their season.
They're going to have a last place schedule, Howard, because they finished in last place
right
in that division. So I guarantee you they're probably going to be a really big time contender to win 12 or 13 ball games next year if everybody comes back healthy.
Apparently Atlanta is a place that they talk about coaches may want to go because they have some good upside. So is Atlanta going to be better? It's not going to be that easy. Well, it's never easy. I should never even say it's close to easy. It's not easy to get to a Super Bowl, but they got some work ahead of them. And the offensive line's got to get better. It's not going to be like it was last year. Lane Johnson is older. He's still a stud when he's healthy. And he's really good. Is your center going to?
You still think Barkley's a stud?
I think he's a good running back. He's not going to be a 2,000. I mean, that's ridiculous to think he's a 2,000-yard back. But I think he's a solid back. But if teams keep on putting those 5-man fronts and forcing the quarterback's got to be able to be better at what he does. And again, good, but is he good enough? And can he evolve? Remember, he's people point to the fact that he was a Super Bowl MVP. First of all, I think the defense was an MVP because they shut him down at the beginning. But Zach Bowen had a great game, but you never give a linebacker. Who was it? One guy. Was it Danny White? And he's not really a linebacker. He's like an edge rusher.
I think it was a guy who lost the Super Bowl with the Cowboys. I forget his name. He won it. Randy White and Harvey Martin split. They were kind of like D linemen. There was a guy that played for the Cowboys in a loss when they lost to the Colts back in the day, who ended up winning the MVP award. Ray Lewis won one as a linebacker. He won an MVP.
Yeah, but Ray Lewis is above Zach Bowen. But it's like when Eli Manning won the MVP when the Giants beat the undefeated Patriots. That defense was the MVP. Whether it was Strahan, there was somebody else on the defensive line. Was it Umanura? Played his ass off.
Yeah, Justin Tuck too.
Yeah, okay. So that they were the MVPs, not Eli Manning. But the reality is they don't name that. So he was an MVP. Again, my point is, people say he was the MVP of the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they had Barkley too, who was a stud. So it changed the dynamic. Hey, they always give it to the quarterback. So that's all right. He played a good game. But I just, and everything was good for the Eagles. The offensive line, the running game, the wide receivers, everybody was really good on offense around him.
Let me ask you this about Nick Sirianni. Do you think he enjoys coaching Jalen Hurts deep down? If you gave him true serum, do you think he enjoyed not the man, the style of play? Do you think he enjoys coaching that guy?
I'm going to give you a non-answer answer. I think he'd rather coach Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen.
Man. Holy cow, Howard, you're going into politics on me here, man. Oh, man.
Wouldn't you rather coach those guys?
Yeah,
I just mentioned
Jalen Hurts' style of play. I have no interest in that.
No. Would you rather coach Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow?
I'd rather coach a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers.
You know what? I give him credit for coming back. He pushed back his Hall of Fame eligibility another 5 years, but he was smart enough. He now gets a medical insurance, and he's got 10 kids.
Yeah. No, he extended it. He did. So
he extended his medical insurance
today. So what was that? I mean, I don't know, man. Back in the day, I remember, man, people used to be so afraid of Philly media. Now it sounds like you guys are passing flowers out to guys sitting in the pit. I heard this thing today. In the middle of a press conference, all of a sudden, hey, here's Howie. Nick, we have an elite coach here. I mean, and you're like, you just got bounced by a football team that used a practice squad, and you're sitting in front of the Philly media glazing one another. I mean, Howard, that was embarrassing today.
Well, some of the questions are ridiculous. And there's going to be non-answers. I guess sometimes you got to ask it. There was a question asked early, which was such a ridiculous question when you don't even have your offense up. I forget what the question was. You don't even have your offense coordinator, and asked a question about, are you going to call the play? Well, it's too early for that. Like, are you kidding me? But I forget what the question was. But they're not going to answer any questions anyway. They are trained. They are trained to not answer questions. They are trained to not answer questions. But that's what press conferences are today. When I had Herm Edwards on, I says, Herm, they're not like you were. He says, they're trying to, you worry about offending the guys making 20, so 25, $30 million.
Villanova. These guys go over to Villanova, and there's Bob Lang teaching how you avoid questions 101. Is that right? Hey, this is how, guess this. Do me a favor. I got to get rid of Howard Eskin. I got to get rid of Angelo. I got to get rid of Ray Dedinger. I got to get rid of all these guys, and I've got to put snowflakes in there. And now, guess what? We now own Philly now because we can control the narrative. That's what it sounded like to me. I was like this, bro, you just got bounced.
Hey, listen, I understand some of the questions, but some questions you can judge. Is Lane Johnson going to come back next year?
Sure, that's
and he says, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, but here's the thing. He said, well, that's up to Lane. He says, we haven't spoken to Lane. We hope he comes back because he's an elite player. Everybody throws Hall of Fame in front of everybody now, but he is a Hall of Famer.
He is.
But, well, that's a private conversation. No, it's not. Just say, listen, we'd love to have him come back because he still can really play the game at a high level. What's wrong with that? And if he wants to, he's welcome. Rather than it's a discussion between the both of between us.
What's the one question you want answered off this 2025 season that you'd like to hear them addressed? I know, get this, when they asked the A.J. Brown question, they danced around that
They danced around that too.
They did. Yeah. They gave you a lawyer's answer.
What can a new offensive, again, just off the top of my head, I'd have to think as the news conference goes on, something that they said that I'd want to follow up. What could a new offensive coordinator do that Kevin Patullo didn't do?
They're not answering that either.
Well, no, I know they're not.
You're taking a shot at the quarterback when you do that.
I am?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are.
No, you asked me what question I would ask.
That's a kind of Jalen, man. When you do, I know what you're doing when you do that. As soon as you said it, I'm like, so what is the new OC going to do that KP didn't do? So what are you saying? KP didn't do anything for Jalen?
Well,
No.
wait a minute. You guys talked about the last play before you ran the last play. And now people are criticizing the 4 verticals, and Jason Avant pointed out that you have a crossing pattern with 2 guys coming together and all those other. You talked about the play. How did you come up with the play, and how much involvement did Jalen Hurts have in that play? Because they were all talking, right?
You think he said in that huddle, I don't want to run that one, I'll run that one?
I think they know body language can probably tell you certain things.
Do you think they had multiple plays at that moment with the season on the line? They called the timeout. They came down.
Hey, what about this? What about this?
What about this and this?
Yeah, I know.
Don't you think the quarterback made didn't the quarterback go like this, or was it Nick, or was it Kevin Patullo? I know this, right?
Hey, if the quarterback wants to run a play that he's going to be comfortable with, I think they'll allow him to do it.
But if I'm sitting there on the sidelines, Howard, and I've got Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and Kevin Patullo, the last guy I'm going to ask in that huddle is the least experienced guy. I'm going to look at Nick, or I'm going to look to the quarterback, aren't you? I mean, you're going to put the season on the line with a guy who's a first-time play caller who's never been in that moment.
Well, here I'll give you one further. They knew, and I mentioned it, just because of what goes on in Philadelphia with these nitwits, morons, and dopes. Right. Some of the people in this fan base. Just what goes on, you knew there was going to be a change there. So you're going to put the last play call, and people blame Kevin Patullo. Do you think Kevin Patullo made that final decision on that play?
Absolutely not.
I think he's third in line.
Yeah,
I think first is Nick, second is the quarterback, and third is Kevin Patullo.
Yeah.
Okay. You think I'm out of line by saying that?
No, I think that's exactly the progression.
Well, you'll put some crap out there to make me sound like I'm out of line. But
no. Listen. Well, I mean, hey, when you're talking to me, what's the one thing I'd like to know? What's Kevin Patullo? What's the new guy going to do that the other guy didn't do? Well, it's a shot at the quarterback. Hey, Howard. No, but honestly, so there probably was about 3 or 4 plays in that last 4th down play. Kevin Patullo put him out there. Nick goes, because you could even see Nick turning going, what do you think? And Hurts goes like this. Well, let's run this one here. Hurts went back to the huddle. That final call was his.
Well, it certainly wasn't Kevin Patullo's. I think you can.
And I don't believe it was Nick's.
It might have been 50-50 Nick and Jalen Hurts.
What would they know about a passing game, Howard?
Nick's an offensive. Nick Sirianni's an offensive coach.
I'm going to give you 2 last ones here. Do you think they give this guy a contract extension?
Who?
Hurts.
Well, he's technically got 2 years left.
Okay.
Next year and the year after, which is not as big. It's not a $50 million hit, or 50-some million dollars.
So if he has the same season he has in 26.
There's no way. It's just people start talking about it. Usually you try to get ahead of it a little bit. They have to be on drugs if they give him an extension before next year. It might be just aspirin. I mean, who knows? It's just because they have a headache from everybody yelling at them.
Boy, I'd like to get you on truth serum a little more, because I think you know more behind the scenes of what you're giving me, because I think you give me that. You're too much of a professional for me to trick you. I can't trick you.
I get killed by a lot of these nitwits. And I guess I've dealt with it all my career. And I know I have. And people say, well, you're not on the sidelines anymore, so now you criticize him. No, well,
that's not what that is.
No, I know, because the years I was on the sidelines for the last 5 years, they were a good football team.
How many years were you?
And they're a good football at 14. I did 14.
How many years were you in Afternoon Drive?
25 years on.
How many years you been on the radio?
Since 19 on the radio since 75, 76.
Hold on. Okay, I went to Miami, so give me a second here.
That's about 40 years. At 75 is 40 years.
And you were on the sidelines. What?
Wait a minute, it's more than that. It's 50 years. What am I talking about? 40 years.
What do you? Hold, now, see, now you make me because what I don't know. Maybe
it's 50 years. You know, and I'm only 37 years old.
Hold on here. Okay, 2025. It's 50 years. Okay.
Right, 50
How many years were you on the sidelines?
14.
14
14.
years.
Yeah, 14.
Well, 50 years on the radio. 14 years of that was on. Well, I'm going to take the guy who was on the air for 50 years. More than I'm going to take the guy who was on the sidelines. You don't need the sideline gig. You're on the air 50 years. I'm on the air 30, and I think that's long.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
You're 50
I've
years.
done 8,000 sports talk shows. 8,000. That's the most of anybody in the country.
Well, then,
because nobody wants to last that long.
No. No. You've done more shows than Francesa.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, and he's had a great career too. So.
Oh, listen, if I was going to give my Mount Rushmore of talk show host of all time, because that was kind of like the second generation after you guys, maybe the third after you guys. So I'll go here. Here's my guys. And I'll be interested to see what you think. So I've got you. I've got Francesa.
Yep.
I've got Mike North in Chicago.
Yeah, he's been around quite a while. Yeah.
And there's another guy that I would put.
There used to be a guy in Texas, but he's not working anymore.
I got Hacksaw Hamilton out west. Lee Hacksaw Hamilton.
Yep.
Was the guy out there. Those would be the four dudes that I would say. Pete Franklin would be another guy, too, that you could probably put in that category.
You know what? At WFAN asked me when I don't know if he passed away.
He did. He worked with me at KMBR.
Okay.
Because after he got fired from FAN, I started my career at KMBR.
Oh, so did he get fired at FAN, Pete Franklin?
He got fired because, remember, what they did was what you guys were smart to do. You guys put local guys in. Remember, they had like national guys at the very first hirings. And
they talked to me about replacing him. And
Jim Lampley. Remember, they had Jim Lampley and all them guys up there.
He's not a talk show guy. No.
They're not local New York guys. They don't even know the boroughs. I mean, what are you going to do up there? You're not going to talk.
It's too many boroughs anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, you South Philly. I mean, you're not going to put a non-Philly guy at these stations. That's why you see all these retreads keep going back. But they're afraid of you guys. So, I mean, there were certain guys that really I thought were the staple of sports talk radio. And I remember you on 610.
I was on an FM station well before I did the first sports talk show on WIP in 86. There was an FM station, WWDB 96.5. And I
is this the one they mentioned in the Rocky movie?
I'm not sure. But it was 1979. 79 to 82. Then I did part-time because I went into TV. And then when I only did a 10 o'clock news, the guy running WIP wanted to make it an all sports station, a guy named Mike Craven.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I would do a sports talk show in the afternoon drive, because I only had a 10 o'clock news at that time when I left.
Did you ever work with Facenda?
With who?
John Facenda?
No, I worked at Channel 10 back rather than network.
He was an anchor, right? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He was a sports
I've
guy.
only met him. I actually only met him
really?
Once or twice. Yeah. I only met him once or twice. But yeah, I was younger. I wasn't at Channel 10 at that time, but I went to Channel 3 was my first television station. But again, I was doing part-time sports talk. So technically I've been doing sports talk since 1979. So.
How much has it changed since that time to where it is now? Has it changed for the better or the worst?
Well, it's not as good.
It's
not as good because it's all about, and I don't like the term, but I use it because it's all about hot takes. How about having strong opinions based on some solid facts, or at least you did research on solid facts, and nobody does, or rarely. And I don't know about outside the market, Rarely do people do that anymore. And I think that's important. You can have a strong opinion, but at least try to back it up with some solid insight and solid research and solid information that you've gotten from people.
I got to give you a Harry Callis story.
Love Harry Callis.
Here's a Harry Callis. Todd Callis worked for the Rays for a while.
Yeah, I did a game with Todd Callis for a cable station down there. I was the color guy. He was the play-by-play guy.
When they were down there in Clearwater?
Yeah, I'm the only guy that worked with Harry and his son.
Yeah, so check it out. So I got to be friends with him, and then he heard me down there on
terrific person.
WDAE. So I get a call from my PD, and he goes, "Hey, Harry Callis wants to go to lunch with you." And I'm like, "The guy in Philly, Harry Callis,
yeah,
the guy NFL films too, right?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay." So Todd brings me to lunch. We have lunch in Tampa, and we're sitting there, and he goes, "Hey, I heard you, man. You're really great. I really appreciate how you take. You remind me a lot of the people in Philly." And I'm going like, I'm sitting there going, I look over at Todd and I go, "This is really your dad? Come on, this is a setup. I thought this was gonna like fish me or something." And he was like, "What a great guy! Every time he came to Philly, every time he came to Tampa, always came on because you guys would always go to Clearwater. Francona and I became friends." And that's how I showed you my Dick Allen ball that I have on my desk here, because I loved Wampum. I loved Dick Allen. And every time that, Frank Sessa would come, or Francona would come to town when he was the manager of the Phillies, Harry Callis would come in and go, "Hey, let's all go to lunch." I'm sitting at lunch in Clearwater with Harry Callis and Terry Francona and Dick Allen. And I'm going like, I went to heaven. Dick Allen was
Dick Allen Dick Allen was a kind of a quiet guy. I knew Dick.
Man, I loved him, man. He was it
was my childhood idol, one of my childhood idols.
Hey, I got to show you this, man. I think I've showed it to you before. There's my Dick Allen baseball.
Yeah.
He signed it for me. Man, I got a bat of his, 41 ounces. Heaviest bat that nobody swings. Yeah, nobody swung. I mean, I think the Babe's the only other guy to swing a bat that big like that, right?
Yeah.
So you think it's changed? There's just not really good sports guys.
It's the same drivel most of the day, and it's just over and over and over, and there's no fresh approach. There's not enough. My son does a good job, but it's not enough of a fresh approach in sports talk radio anymore.
I would like to be at a holiday dinner with the Eskins and hear this stuff going on. I'd like to know how Spike handles, "Hey, your old man, he's such an ass."
We do not talk anything about the radio station or about the 76ers. Because he bought it.
No cone Embiid.
Well, yeah, because he bought into the process, because he still was drinking the Kool-Aid for years and years and years. But they stink. It's just they're so average. You know what? If you look in the dictionary and see average, you don't see Embiid. You see the Sixers, because Embiid's not average anymore.
Hey, what do you think the move the Phillies made in the offseason here?
Did they make any moves?
No, not really. No.
Hey, listen, if they don't make another move, and I don't know that they're going to get Bo Bichette, and he's just at best an average defensive player, so they don't improve themselves defensively, but he makes more contact than almost all the guys in that lineup, except Alec Bowman.
You're not sold on Shugart?
On who?
Shugart?
Who?
Both.
No. Now, in the right fielder they got is not going to have the same numbers as Castellanos. Castellanos will have that. He's a better right fielder defensively, but he's not going to have the same numbers, and he'll strike out a ton of times too. So I don't know. They're locked into too many big contracts. They're locked into too many. They're not a World Series team.
Brad Keller.
Oh yeah, just please.
Hey, Bo Bichette, I'll tell you, okay, because when he was growing up in Orlando, obviously his dad is.
Yeah.
And so Dante Bichette.
Yeah.
And so he grew up in Orlando, and he had a really, really great when he was younger. He was like a Babe Ruth superstar, and I used to see the kid, and I had the kid on my show when he was a small guy. I actually like him, Howard. I think he's a good ball player, man. I don't know if
He's a solid
I don't
offensive
know if
ball
he's
player.
special, but I think he's a pretty good ball player.
No, I don't think he's special. I think he's a good ball player. He'll make more contact. He'll strike out less, which they need that in the lineup. But they'll be getting rid of Alec Boehm, who, if there's any player on that team I want at the plate with a man on third and less than 2 outs, the one player on that team I want is Alec Boehm, and nobody gives him because he makes contact. And the players in that lineup don't. So the Phillies they'll be okay, but they're not a World Series team, and got to go through another year, 162 games of talking about Red October. I mean, give me a
Zach Pop. You hear it?
Yeah.
Dave Dombrowski's working his ass off, isn't he? Hey, Howard, where can people find you, man, and tell them how they can? Because, by the way, make sure you watch that show from last night. Because
find me on a bridge ready to jump because you'll make me sound like I'm killing people.
You are killing people. And this is what I love about you. What'd you make of LeBron James patch? The 23 years that he's been in the league. So the NBA's got a special patch now for him.
No.
It says 20. Yeah, you got to Google it. It says 23rd year for LeBron James playing in the NBA. And he gets a chance to wear it all year long.
Yeah, I mean, first, LaFraud James is what I call him. He craves attention. He was a great player. He's not one of the top 5 all time. He's not. He's probably 7 or 8. But he just, he's stealing money now because he's just trying to build up his points. Plays no defense. It's just, and he stayed with the Lakers to build up points and to get his son on the Lakers. That's what he did. But for the NBA, to 23 is Michael Jordan. 23 is Michael Jordan.
That's why he did it. That's the point why he did it.
I know. It's just, you're not Michael Jordan. Hey, bro, you're not Michael Jordan, and you never will be, and you're not even the same. I'll give you, here's the way I look at great players. Who do you want in the last 2 minutes of a game? And I'll give you 3 guys.
Okay.
I'll give you 4 guys.
Let me do this here. Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Well, here, Michael Jordan from 25, or would you take Kareem with the sky hook on the box with 2 minutes left in a ball game?
Well,
who would you want to take the last shot? MJ from 20 or Kareem on the box from 5?
Kareem is probably above LaFraud James, but here's the guys I'm going to give you because they can create. And Kareem's got the one shot, and Kareem's really, really good. But Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, or LaFraud James?
Jeez, it comes down.
Larry Bird's a better shooter.
It comes down to Kobe and Larry.
Kobe's a better shooter. I'm not. And
Kobe
Michael
ain't a better shooter than Bird. No way.
What's that?
Kobe ain't a better shooter than Bird. No way.
No, I'm not Kobe. I'm talking about than LaFraud James. Yeah,
that guy's not taking.
And for how many years he couldn't shoot fouls? How many years that he wasn't a good foul shooter?
I'm not.
Larry Bird, take a look at the highlights of Larry Bird that you see online every once in a while.
No, I'll take Magic Johnson with the last seconds on the line.
Well, but he's not going to be able to create a shot. He'll make a pass, but nonetheless, guys
you take in the last 10 seconds of a game, if you had to get one shot, wouldn't you take Steph Curry over LeBron?
Yeah, I didn't even put Steph Curry in the mix yet, but Steph Curry's a better player than LaFraud James too.
23rd. He did it because it's a shot at Jordan. It's his 23rd season, so he can wear the patch. And I'm like, dude.
Wait a minute. The NBA didn't put a patch out, did they?
No, the NBA allowed it. The NBA gave it up.
So he did it on his own jersey?
Yep. Nobody's wearing it. He's wearing it.
That's a disgrace. The NBA, just, you're going to fold under.
What's next? They're going to change the logo from Jerry West to him?
Yeah. I mean, hey, we didn't even mention Oscar Robertson, who had a triple-double when you didn't pad the stats. Averaged a triple-double when they didn't pad the stats.
Point line.
Right. I'm telling you. Hey, Michael Jordan didn't take that many threes. That's why LaFraud's got.
Remember this: Kareem didn't win a title in Milwaukee until they made the trade with the Royals to bring him up to Milwaukee and put his rear end up there. He ends up winning that NBA championship. He never won a championship in Los Angeles until they drafted Magic. He had to have a point. Yeah. There had to be a point and a shooting point guy that could make the perimeter to open up the underneath, because back then you played on the pivot. Nowadays, who's the best center in the game? These guys who take threes?
Yeah, well, the best center in the game might be Wemby.
He is really good.
Because he
needs a meal, but he's really good.
You know what? Joel Embiid shooting from, and he keeps on taking threes. You know what his percentages from three this year?
28%.
22. And he's still taking the shots.
I know. I mean, well, when you're a driving cone, you're not really going to go anywhere. Howard, this weekend, you got anything going on this weekend?
No, I just talk about the football games, but I want to hear from the people. I have people join the show. I want to hear from the people, and I'll listen to hear what they think the issues are and whether a new offensive coordinator will do that. So Saturday at 8 Eastern
hold
time.
On. You open your show up to people now? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I open my show to people.
So would you say you're getting softer as you're getting older?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Well, wait a minute. I heard stories that crazy PD that you used to have there, who used to have the spotlight on there when you had to get out in a minute. Who you had that maniac
Tom Bigby, may rest in peace.
Yeah, Tom Bigby had a light for these guys that if a caller like any of you guys would call in.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and it went more than 2 minutes. Get them out of here. Get them out of here, right?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. They told me. They had a guy.
Yeah, that's all right. I dealt with him. I dealt with a lot of people.
Angelo hated his guts. But then again,
I know. Well, Angelo, how many people does Angelo like?
I've not met one. Wait, let me think. Have I heard any? Who does he like? He liked Doug Peterson.
He did?
Did he? That's what he's. I thought I heard him say he liked Doug.
I don't even know if he liked Doug Peterson. I don't know.
He likes Hurts.
He likes Hurts? No, he doesn't.
He does. He thinks Hurts is tremendous. He thinks Hurts is a winner. He thinks Hurts is.
That's because he knows whatever.
He hates Nick Sirianni, though, man.
I know he does.
You know why? Because he didn't say goodbye to him in his last week. Say it, Howard. Howard, I'll see you, brother, man. I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you.
Have a good day and a better day tomorrow.
You got it, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Howard Eskin. Always good conversation with him, man. Love talking. All right, we're going to pay some bills here. The number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. That is our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. They do this, folks. They protect you and your family, making sure that if you're ever injured on the job, that they take your family and they make sure that you get restitution. Okay? And get this. They're going to do their dangest to make sure that happens. If you're ever injured on the job, please do me this favor. Check out my friends at forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Mm-hmm. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face. Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, He gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Bill's National Football Show. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button. I got a replacement. For Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. Hang on here. What's this? Dan Sileo's jealous. He's not a beautiful black man like Jalen Hurts. What? Man, seriously, dude. Man card revoked. Go sit in the corner, man, with your blow-up doll. What are you, nuts? Stop talking like that. You sound like a weirdo. Who would you like to see as the head football coach in Pittsburgh? Who would be the right guy? What do you think? I have one dude that I think would be a perfect, and I mean perfect fit to become the new head football coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually like that. I actually like that. That's a pretty good take there. Chucky? Too much controversy. Who's that? Nick, you want to get him out probably more so than anything. Okay? Sirianni, please. Who would be the best coach? Okay? How about this guy? I would like to see the next head football coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want him to be young because he's going to be there a while. I like Robert Saleh. How about Marcus Freeman, the head football coach in Notre Dame? Put him in there. He makes Notre Dame likable. Hell of a recruiter. Hell of a connector. I actually like that coach. You know, I wasn't rooting for Notre Dame not to make the playoffs, but I would. Hey, you know what, dude? How about this? Maybe I want to get Marcus Freeman away from Notre Dame so I could go back to coming off the top rope on him. All right. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Because I actually like the dude. And I've had a chance to talk to the guy. And, you know, I actually like him. I actually like him a lot. Okay. I mean, get him out of Notre Dame because I want to go back to completely hating that place. He's such a nice man. All-Star Motel in Wildwood, New Jersey. Who are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. I like Brian Flores, though. That's a pretty good take right there. The Indiana coach, Kurt Signetti. I want somebody young. How about Mario Cristobal? Mario ain't leaving the University of Miami, man. It's a hurricane. By the way, so I got to take it to the woodshed here. So a couple of my friends asked me for tickets, and I get 2 tickets for the rest of my life. I think you guys will like this. I get 2 tickets for the rest of my life as Miami Hurricane. I go any game, home and away. It doesn't matter. So for the rest of my life, I get 2 Hurricane tickets. If Xander could ever get me off my ass, I'd like to take Xander to Notre Dame November 7th and go see that Notre Dame game. Big Z, I think you'd enjoy that. Going to Notre Dame, get a chance to roll around. A lot of people are going to be there November 7th because that Notre Dame game is going to be a hotly contested football game. And I really want to go to that thing. So I got to get this. So I got asked to get somebody some tickets. Michael Irvin, by the way, if you look on Michael Irvin's social media page, let me read it to you. And this is what he said. And it's true. I didn't know that they were this difficult in getting these tickets. I found out they're $4,000 a pop now. The cheapest ticket to the Notre Dame game is $4,000. I mean, these are like nosebleed. And Michael Irvin said this. Let me read it here. And he tweeted this out. I think it was last night because he asked me, he goes, hey, you got any tickets now? They gave him press credentials. And if I had to go, I could probably get Miami would get me press credentials. But here's Michael Irvin, what he tweeted. And it's on the front page of his X account. Don't ask me. No tickets. Don't call me. Don't text me. I can't help you. When I found out that they were $4,000 a piece, I couldn't believe it. Every single ticket in that place has been spoken for. So next Monday night, when they play the national title game, it's probably going to be all Indiana. A lot of Hurricanes will be there, but it's probably going to be more than anything. Indiana Hoosier people are paying $4,000 a ticket, and I'm talking upper deck at Hard Rock. It's not the greatest stadium. It is. I mean, these are like Super Bowl tickets. I was like, yeah, no, I can't get any. I asked Mario. I go, Mario, can you get me a couple tickets? He goes, I got 10 for my family. They didn't give me a whole bunch like they used to in the past. He only got 10. He's the head coach. He's one of the guys in the game. He only got 10 tickets for his family. He would have he's given me tickets before. Sent me tickets. I go, can you get any tickets? He goes, I got 10 tickets for my entire family. And I got 6 of my immediate family. I'm like, whoa. He goes, I gave them to my brothers and I'm done. $4,000 for that game. Like you could sell Super Bowl tickets for $5,000. I mean, right? Yeah. Hey, yeah, they only gave him $40,000 worth of tickets. He's not going to sell them. He gave him Mario Cristobal makes $10 million a year. You know, he's selling tickets. That's because Miami wasn't good to sell out. Don't get me started on that one. Okay. Not the strongest fan base. That's gone back even to my day. Do your Miami math 10 times. How you doing? That's right. Hold on for a second. 10 tickets. I got you, buddy. But that guy don't need that money. Went to one Super Bowl in Miami. versus Minnesota and Texas. Went to one Super Bowl, Miami versus Minnesota. What game was that in Texas? There was a Super Bowl in Texas? When was that? I don't remember. You mean Louisiana. Miami and the Vikings, I think, played in Louisiana. I think they played at Tulane Stadium. I think that Miami, Minnesota, Charles, I think you played in the I think it was in Tulane, at the old Tulane Stadium, Louisiana in the 70s. What about other coaching openings? Here, I wrote them down. Titans job stinks. The Browns job stinks. Is anybody calling for the Cardinal job? Help me out on that one. I mean, help me out on that one, right? Who's going to get the Cardinal job? Why would Mike McDaniel take that gig? Because of Kyler Murray? Could you see him going there and going to Kyler Murray? I could see the Bidwells offering Mike McDaniel the job there to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Why? Because who else is going to take the job? You're going to get a guy who's desperate to take a head coaching gig. It was in 2010, Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Okay. Pittsburgh, 2010. What was that game? Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Can't remember that game. Oh, Dallas? Okay. All right. Sills, 2010, Pittsburgh versus Green Bay. Rodgers only Super Bowl. Okay. Got it. Kyler Murray is going to be replaced soon. Yes. Super Bowl 8, 74, Houston's Rice Stadium. Dolphins, Minnesota. And I think Steelers and Cowboys at Tulane. Like, I think that was the Steelers' second Super Bowl. Because Steelers played in Tulane too. Which Super Bowl was in Tulane? I think it was Steelers and Cowboys. They played in that stadium. And I think it was like 20 degrees below zero. I read books. It's like, and I don't remember watching it. I was too young for it. But yes, that's the one. Okay. All the head coaching openings have bad quarterbacks. That's why they have coaching openings. The only one is, and who gets the Ravens gig? That's going to be the bigger one. Who gets that Ravens gig? You know? Right? I mean, the Ravens job is a great job, I think. But then you heard the owner come out yesterday and go, and now he's got to justify getting rid of a guy who just made $100 million. So here, think about what Steve Biscotti's saying. I'm going to find the next $100 million man. I made John Harbaugh, is what he's basically saying. His next hire, he's going to get the next John Harbaugh. I'm going to make this, I'll make you this prediction. The next coach that he hires will be fired in 5 years. If he thinks he's finding another John Harbaugh, good luck. He's not the Roonies. Now, he's done pretty good in his last 2 hours, but people forget he hired Ted Marchibroda at the beginning. When they had the franchise there, I believe that was that may have been Art Modell who brought Marchibroda in there. I think Marchibroda was the first, because remember why? Hey, Yale, do you remember why? Ted Marchibroda was the head coach at one time of the Baltimore Colts back in the day. So they thought with a little symbolic gesture, they would bring Marchibroda back, and they made Marchibroda the first head football coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So it was more symbolic than actually being good. Marchibroda was a decent coach, though. Okay, he wasn't a bad coach. Howard Eskin took 2 seconds to say some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Eskin's beef is personal with Jalen. No, it's not. He doesn't have a personal beef with Jalen Hurts. Are you crazy? You just don't like hearing the truth. As a matter of fact, I agree with most of it. And I've said it since day one. Dude, nobody's saying he's not a shitty quarterback. He's a good player. Don't get ahead of yourselves like he's some elite dude or something. Just how much would you pay Jalen Phillips? I'd give him 25. I heard John and Xander talking about a Josh Sweat deal. Well, price went up from 19.5. I'd say about 23 million, 24 million bucks. I'm not giving him any more than that because why? He's not a high sack volume guy. And secondly, he gets hurt. So I'm going to hang around. He's not a 30 guy. Drew Rosenhaus thinks he's a $28 million a year guy. He's not. Okay. He's probably in the lower 20s, 21, 2, 3. Injuries got to play a factor. I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's built for the league. So you got to situationally play him. He's Bryce Huff, but better. He's a smaller dude. He's a smaller guy. Unfortunately, you're going to have to move off into Kobe. Now, that's all under the premise that Kobe is going to do this. Because if I was his agent, I'd say this about Dean. I'd go, hey, we want you to be here. Here's $5 million. His agent's going to go, $5 million over 3 years. I'll give you $15 million with incentives. We'll put some sprinkle incentives in. You can make yourself $20 million over the next 3 years. Agent's going to come back and they're going to shoot that down. Then I'd come back if I was Howie and say, we want you here. If you sign a $30 million contract and you go somewhere else and you get hurt like that, and they're not going to have the patience with you, and nor are you going to have Vic, you'll be out of the league in 3 years. You'll be out of the league in 3 years. 1 year, $8 million. You're starting to scoot in an area I'm not willing to go. $8 million? No, thank you. $8 million. I got Jahad Campbell. I got Zach Bond. I'd like to keep you. Here's 5. Tell you what, your second year, we'll put escalators in. If you play past 15 games, we'll give you 8 a year. If you play under 15 games, we'll give you 5 a year. What do you make of that? There's got to be a health factor and a health clause in there. I'd say the same thing to Goddard. I'd say, Dallas, you want to stay? Tell you what we'll do. We'll make up that money for you. Here's a 2-year contract. And what we'll do is we'll give you $30 million. Now here, if you play less than 13 ball games, that number comes down to 20. Not? I'll see you. He didn't have that great a year. I'm not going to sit there and give that guy $30 million over 2 years, guaranteed. Why? So he could come in and play 8 games next year, and then after that, play another 9? And that's not worth the contract. It's not worth it. Dude, availability has a price too. Sills, we also got to test out. Hey, look, I saw Trotter in that last game of the year against Commanders. I thought he looked good. He looked better than I thought. He's gotten better. You could see he's been coached by Bobby King. There's something to the kid. I agree. He got better this year, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He did. Dean's injury history certainly hurts his bargaining chip. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm going to use that against his ass. I'm going to use that against Jalen Phillips. Hey, Jalen, you're a great player. You improved our football team so much. But here's our concerns. You're hurt, and you don't really have high-volume sacks. You're like 6'7" guy. And, you know, the last guy we had in here was a 17 or 16.5 guy. You know, and Sweat just signed a deal for 19.5. We think you're that kind of guy. Right? We think you're that dude. Look, I think they want him back. But I think there's going to be a ceiling on him in what you're going to pay and how much you want to put out there. Because look, I'll tell you this too. For Jalen Carter, I'd make this clear. Here's what I would offer. Hey, I'll tell you what we'll go. Here's Jalen Carter. You tell me. Jalen Carter, I'm going to do this. Here's $30 million a year. Well, wait a minute. We want to be the highest paid player. Well, hear me out first. We'll pay you $30 a year. $30 a year. Okay? You didn't really play that great this year. That's the $90 million. Signing bonus, talking about $150 million. 3 years. Okay? Or we could pick up the 5th-year option and we can play this out. What do you want to do? Well, I'm not going to sign that deal. Pick the 5th-year option. That means this. I have you for 2 more years. Then after that, I have you for 2 more tag years if I feel. I have you for half a decade. Where are you going? 4 years. I have you. You have no leverage. And you're coming off a bad year. Use the tags. You have 2 of those. Put the 5th year on. You got another year. You ain't going nowhere. You could punt this bitch down the road 4 years. Or here's 30. We'll sign a 3-year contract extension. You tell me. Rosenhaus will be in a position then. It's got to be more. Come on. No. I don't have to do that. The Eagles are in no hurry to do it. We particularly think you underachieved this year, and he did. And get this. And God forbid he has to have surgery on both those shoulders. So if you have shoulder surgery, why do you think he's holding off on the shoulder surgery? He wants to see what they're going to do in March. You watch. Because if he should do the surgeries now if he needs it. But I guarantee you they're not going to do it until after March 17th. Until they find out what the Eagles want to do. I know how Drew Rosenhaus works. This guy may need surgery on his shoulders. I heard John say it today. Well, I'm not going to get surgeries. At what? So Howie could use that in my negotiations? Here's 28. Why would I do that? I have tag years, option year, and 1 more year. I got 4 years. They got that guy really pigeoned in a corner in a way. You're not going to go anywhere. They maintain his rights with the 2 franchise tags. Eagles don't traditionally do that, but on a player like that, I'd drop that franchise tag on him. Why wouldn't you? And then you keep him in the market price. Right? Here's 3 years and 30. Sign it. No. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do then. 5th-year option, 2 tags. We're going to tell you flat out what we're doing right now. You good with that? No, we don't want to do that. Well, it really doesn't matter what you want to do. It's just what we're doing. Right? This is what we're going to do. All right. Appreciate you guys. Football Friday, as always. We have something special for you at 5:30, by the way, with the Philly Godfather. You're going to want to hear this story about your Philadelphia Eagles. We'll do that, get you prepped up for divisional rounds. Also, too, the Monday Night National Championship game. We appreciate everybody. Big Z, Big Joe, thank you very much. 2 to 6 tomorrow, and we'll see you on the flip side.